hello, what's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Fine Thursday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Catcam fan and dull boring username and loony? Good to see ya, variant. How is everyone today? Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful week, having a great Thursday. Hey, what's up, Tuga buddy? How are you? I gotta say, so today was the last day of Commander Masters Precon Day, and I know these precons, they've been pretty heavily debated. Some people hate them, some people kind of like them. I'm kind of at the point where I think that they are overpriced, although I do think the decks are good. And I know that's apparently not a very popular take, but I don't think the decks are bad. I think the problem is that they jacked up the price like 2 or 3 times normal, and made the decks like somewhat better than normal, but definitely not 2 or 3 times as good as normal. But I will say, I think the Eldrazi deck they spoiled today, if you just like big epic cards, this deck has some of the biggest, most epic cards we've seen in a while. Like, it's all colorless and it just has some really big, flashy, like bomby colorless cards. I don't know how strong they're going to be. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, the colorless one I think is the most interesting of the bunch. How's Cece? Cece's doing well. Driving me a little bit crazy, but she's doing super well. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, so I mean, like, Rise of the Eldrazi, this card's kind of absurd, right? To the point where I'm like, is this a bad card to have exist in like Commander? Rise of the Eldrazi, 12 mana, including 3 colorless, can't be countered, blow up a permanent, draw 4 cards, target player, but it's gonna be you, I think, and take an extra turn. 4 cards. It's like the colorless appropriate, essentially. Like, the card is so over the top. I wonder, like, do you think that the colorless mana is too much of a restriction? That's the big question. If you just look at a typical Commander deck, not a whole lot of Commander decks are playing that much colorless mana. Are these cards that you can only play in dedicated colorless decks? Or is there a way you can make your mana base work in just a typical deck? The rest of the cards are kind of ridiculous too. Like Flayer of Loyalties, 10 mana, 10/10. You need the colorless mana. When you cast it, snag a creature until end of turn, untap it, it becomes a 10/10 and trample and Annihilator 2 and haste, and the creature has Annihilator 2 and also trample. That's a really big swing in the game. There's Calamity of the Titans, one of the better sweepers that we've seen for a colorless deck. 6 mana as an additional cost to reveal a colorless creature from your hand. Exile each creature in Planeswalker with mana value less than the revealed card. So if you're playing a bunch of big Eldrazi, this just sweeps away your opponent's board, essentially. Darksteel Monolith, 8 mana, indestructible. Once each turn you pay 0 rather than the mana cost of a colorless spell from your hand. So you can play this for 8 mana and then just immediately play a Rise of the Eldrazi or whatever, like some ridiculously top-end card. So I think that the colorless deck is my favorite of the bunch. I'm still not sure, like, just looking at these deck lists, are they actually worth buying? I'm really torn on this, honestly. Demonic Tutors, thank you for the huge raid. I want your opinions, chat. I want your opinions. Have you bought any of these decks, and are you planning to buy any of these decks? Because I think that the criticism, there's not enough value compared to the price being $80 or $90 or $140, depending on the deck. Like, I think that's a very legitimate criticism. I think that's very true. I will say, I actually went and I was looking at old Commander precons and comparing them to these precons, and I do think that there is more reprint value in these than the typical precon. Like, if you look at most precons, you see their price around when they're spoiled, it's like $100 or whatever. These are super inflated by the new cards, so you can't really take this price seriously, because like the new cards are not $30, $40 a piece. That's ridiculous prices. They're going to be a few bucks. But I think there is more value than normal. Is it enough value to pay double or triple the price? That's where the kind of falls apart. I kind of lean towards probably not being worth it. Jwang, how are you today? Good to see you. Already pre-ordered all 4. I mean, they look super fun. The criticism, I think, that with the deck is not that they're not going to be fun or playable. They look very fun and playable. The criticism, if there is one that I think is pretty legitimate, is just like the price is kind of high compared to what we're really looking for there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It is Titan Day. We're going to find out if Titans are still good on Arena in 2023. Why am I missing a sideboard card? We should have one more sideboard card here. Oh, I have sideboard card in the main. Oh, Flame Blast Bolt. It's supposed to be in the sideboard. There we go. There we go. So the plan for today, it's all Titans all night long. So here's what we got. We're going to start with Primeval Titan Gates. Gates, one of my favorite budget decks on Arena. The beauty of Gates is you get to play the horrible common mana base, and it's actually good in your deck because you want to have all Gates anyway. So you get away with playing this all common tap land mana base, which makes the cost of the deck really, really low. Primeval Titan, I guess, jacks it up a little bit, but the entire deck, common, uncommon, rare, mythic, mostly common mana base. Gates is one of the cheapest decks on Arena, so I really want to see how good Primeval Titan is if you're trying to win with Mazes, Ends, and Gates. So that's deck number one. Deck number two. This one I'm really excited for. This is some Bant Sun Titan Lazelle's Acrobatics Blink with Panharmonicon, of course. Sun Titan, one of my favorite Titans, and it works really good with Soul Herder. It can get back Soul Herder. Also does weird loops with Glasspool Mimic. You can Sun Titan, get back Glasspool, copy Sun Titan, get back something else. Works really well with Charming Prince. Sun Titan, get back Charming Prince, bring the Sun Titan, get back something else. So there's a lot of these weird Amuria style value loops that the deck has. Plus, you can just blink everything for value. Plus, you got Yarion to blink everything. So that's also on the docket. The last deck, I also love Frost Titan too. The whole Titan cycle is pretty nostalgic for me. Last, this is probably the worst of the decks, but I really want to try it. I kind of hate that every deck has 4/1 rings in it, but hey, it's 2023. It's Lord of the Rings year. This deck is probably the least powerful of the bunch, but this is it Titan Giants, essentially? Turns out that all the Titans are giants. So we get Quakebringers, we get Titanic Giants. So essentially we're trying to just like ramp into Inferno Titans and Frost Titans and Quakebringers and hope for the best in it. Is it, Shell? So that's what's on the docket today. Cordius, welcome to the Fishbowl for the 19th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. We just started. Just exactly, I mean, I'm just talking about the decks. We haven't even done the reminders yet, so you are very much on time. Speaking of reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you'd find the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tomorrow, got a pretty fun kind of concept deck that I really want to try for our YouTube video. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a surprise. But a pretty interesting, a little bit of history mixed in, a little bit of nostalgia, but a pretty interesting video coming up for tomorrow's video. Zekapanot. I think I nailed it. For the 13th month, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big skip cheer for you. Hey, what's up, Ernin? How are you? Good to see you. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need any of the sweet new Commander Masters cards, or maybe a Teferi Templar Archmage, which I guess is also a Commander Master it's called, or maybe a horrible bulk rare that you're not going to get because you're not going to open a booster pack because you probably open the bulk rare in a $16 pack, you can get them all over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Even maybe get a free goldfish shaker. Just let them know you want one and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, token, t-shirts, playmat, giveaways, support the stream, and the channel inside donations always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message right on stream. And let's Primeval Titan some fools. Let's do some gating. Let me see what this, oh boy, Preston. So Doug, I actually have a Preston deck. I have a Preston deck. So I built a Preston deck like 2 events ago, 2 Command Fests or whatever ago. I had a White Blink deck. I turned it into a Preston deck, and I have found that the value loops are so over the top that I don't play it nearly as much as I want to. So what I want, and Doug, if you got ideas for this, let me know. Maybe they're in this deck already. I need a way to finish out the game in my Preston deck. What I found is I play my Preston deck and I just like dirtle and like loop stuff and blink stuff and do all these value-y things, but I never actually kill anyone, and everyone else ends up getting annoyed at me because I'm not progressing the game. I'm just taking in like blinking things for value repeatedly. So if you got any ideas of like how I can play Preston, but also be able to kind of like shift gears and kill people, that would be very helpful, because I really like how Preston plays, and it's a really cool commander, but I don't play it as much as I would like to because of that problem. That problem has kept me from playing it that much. Cathar's Crusade, there's one person One person's always in the vets. I've played with a bunch. Big believer in the initiative mechanic. They're trying to convince me that I should just play all the initiative cards and just turbo through the dungeons, which actually might be a good plan for it as well. But have you ever considered being an auctioneer? Can I talk that fast? Do I have the fast speech? I think I've just practiced unintentionally the little spiel at the intro of streams so much because I've been streaming for so long that I can just do it without even thinking about it. But yeah, have a deck like this. All right, so what is this deck trying to do? This is Primeval Titan Gates. If you don't know Gates, we're going to play all the Gates in our mana base. Our big win con, Maze's End. Maze's End, one of the coolest alt win cons in Magic. It's a land that ETB's tapped. It makes colorless mana, and then we can pay 3, bounce it back to our hand, search our library for a gate, put it on the battlefield, and if we have 10 or more gates with different names, we win the game. So if you look at our mana base, we have like 15 gates with different names or something. So the idea of our deck is pretty simple. In the early game, we ramp with our arch nemesis Abrail Grazer, which is probably going to be coming out of the deck after like 2 matches, after it doesn't put a land into play. But we ramp with Grazers, Engrow Spirals, and Explorers. This hopefully gets us to Guild Summits. Ridiculous card advantage engine in a deck with all gates. Whenever a gate comes into play, we get to draw a card. Gatebreaker Ram just gets massive in all gate mana base deck. Gates Ablaze, really good sweeper. And then our top end of our curve is more ramping, and now Primeval Titan for even more ramping. So in theory, we can like ramp on 1, into ramp on 2, into ramp on 3, into Primeval Titan on 4, into maybe winning with Maze's End as early as like turn 5 in this deck with our best draws. So that's the plan. Just ramp and ramp and ramp, find Maze's End, trust that Primeval Titan will get the gates we need for us to win the game. So, and also worth mentioning, I mentioned this a little bit in the intro, but one of the things I like about Gates is it really is a budget deck. I haven't, actually it's probably in the chat. I didn't actually look to see how many rares and mythics there are. So I guess technically 21 altogether, although a lot of those are the sideboard. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of those are in the sideboard. So if you're playing best of 1 or change up the sideboard a little bit, you can make this for like 13 rares or mythics on Magic Arena, even with the Primeval Titans. Is the one breeding pool better than a basic to fetch off of some... Wait, is the one breeding pool better than a basic to fetch off of some grab a basic effect? We don't really have any grab a basic effects, though. If we had grab a basic effects, then I think it would probably matter. We do want a... Wait, do I not have any basics? Oh, that's... I am a big believer in playing a basic. You know what? Maybe we don't need this Thran Portal. Thran Portal's pretty bad. we do want a basic, because you sometimes get got by like Passeju or whatever, and not being able to get a land at all is pretty sketchy. We have a new donation from... All right, let's do some tightening. Let's do some gating. Gate them up. I don't know if this deck's... We'll see how good it is. We have a new donation from Tom Kerr's $3 donation. Hey, Seth, for Preston, have you tried Boss Chauffeur? I don't even know what that card is. It has worked pretty good for me as a fin. Now I'm gonna have to look that up. Boss Chauffeur is a card? Wait, no, what? That can't be right. What is the... Do you know the actual name of it? I don't see a card named Boss Chauffeur. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. Hey, what's up, Pathtracker? How are you? We will play first. Thank you for the donation, by the way. I'm curious. I don't know what that card name is, though. Oh, Boss's Chauffeur? Wait, is that a card? Why doesn't even Boss show up? Bosses. Oh, that really is a card. I thought it was a troll. Boss's Chauffeur. This must not be on Magic Online because I've never seen it. Boss's Chauffeur, 5 mana. When it ETBs with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of other creatures you control. All right, so it's going to get huge. Alliances, when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, create a green-white citizen token for each counter. Ooh, that actually seems good. Preston makes a lot of creatures. I could see adding that to the deck. I like that idea, and it's only 29 cents too as a bonus. Yeah, I'll have to try adding that one. Do you think Path to Exile would be busted if reprinted in Standard? No. Nope. Nope. I mean, Path to Exile's kind of not great removal. So it's removal that gets the job done. And when you just need something to die, it does do it. The problem is The problem is you give your opponent a land, and that's actually a pretty big drawback if you have to use it early in the game. I think Path is of a power level that would be perfectly fine for Standard. Swords to Plowshares, I'm a little bit more on the fence about. Like, would that be worth it? That I'm not sure. Swords to Plowshares might actually be too strong for Standard, but we're just going to keep playing gates here. Just keep gating. Gating and passing. Swords is stronger, yeah. Swords is definitely stronger. Hey, Seth. How are you? As a connoisseur of both the jank and making your opponents not play Magic, could you take a look at my Tanawa deck and maybe give me some tips and feedback? Ooh, yes, I would love to. Oh, we are gonna draw some cards. All right, we're gonna Guild Summit. Guild Summit's kind of busted. Guild Summit, tap a gate, draw a card. And then we'll play a gate, draw another card. And then next turn we get to Primeval Titan if we want to and draw 2 cards. Oh, we are off to the races. Opponent, 3 lands. They do get to make a treasure, which I guess is good. And if they have like a Shieldred or something, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. If they have a Shieldred or something, we have enough gates that we can just Gates Ablaze it. All right, so we get drained. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we do have to play a gate and get drained. All right, play a gate, get drained. Ouch. But Gates Ablaze gonna take care of our problems here. Sweep the board. Explore, draw a card. Plaza of Harmony, gain a little bit of life, and pass the turn. I love this deck too. Let me look at this Tanawa deck. Oh, not again. Oh, this is not a May ability, is it? All right, well, we might have met our match. We might have met our match in Shieldreds. Can we find another Gates Ablaze? We can. All right, Plaza of Harmony. Gates Ablaze. Oh, 2 Shieldreds down. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And another gate. We are the Shieldred Assassins, apparently. No! Goodness! Again! Opponent. Seriously, opponent. Seriously. We're running out of... We're running out of Gates Ablaze's opponent. Give us a break. Primeval Titan? Alright, we actually have to think now. So, okay. 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate, 4 gate, 5 gate, 6 gate, 7 gate. So if we get Maze's End... Wait, that's not a Maze's End, that's a Plaza of Harmony. So we have 7 gates. We get a Maze's End. I mean, we can win in 2 turns, right? Hopefully. Simic Guildgate in hand. Yeah, 3 Shieldreds in a row is not optimal for us. How can we do this without dying? So the gates are going to trigger this to draw us cards and drain us with Shieldred. Okay, so Maze's End and a gate, draw a card. How do we not die to Shieldred, though? That's the issue. All right, we're just gonna pass. We're gonna pass and discard a Simic Guildgate. All right, hold Primeval Titan. As long as I can't kill the Primeval Titan, opponent tap land. For sake, this is so close. We might be 3 Shieldreds. We might beat 3 Shieldreds. This Circuitous, as long as we can survive this turn, that's fine. Protection from everything does not include your opponent winning the game. So opponent, you can gain your life. You can do your Shieldred-y stuff. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. Opponent, are you getting in there? No. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so we get drained. We're not miscounting, right? 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate. We just got to get the right ones. 4 gate, 5 gate, 6 gate, 7 gate, 8 gate. So, Circuitous Route? Do we beat 3 Shieldreds? Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing that actually happened? Gate, gate. Drain, drain. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Sure. Yes, Shielder, do your thing. And then Maze's End. Pick him up, pick him up. Demir Guildgate. Ha! 3 Shieldreds! And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Oh, that was pretty good. All right, let's look at this Taniwa. Phasing. Such a weird card. 5 mana 7/7 phasing trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, all lands you control phase out. How do you? I'm curious how you build around. How do you build around Taniwa? Oh no! Oh, this deck's brutal. Land Equilibrium with Taniwa. That sounds. Mana Vortex. Oh boy. Okay. This deck is not going to make you any friends. I will tell you that. If you sat down to a commander game with me and revealed Taniwa, I'd be thinking, oh, that's cool. What a janky old commander. I'm excited to see what this is doing. Once you started dropping mana breaches and mana vortexes and land equilibriums, we would no longer be friends. I love it though. That looks so brutal. Well, I was wondering how you build around Taniwa, and that's you take advantage of the fact that your lands are being phased out to just get them. Just get their lands too, make it fair. I love it. All right, what do we want against an opponent who's really good at drawing Shieldred? Wormcoil seems fine. I mean, Terra Sunders that's our answer for the One Ring. Hopefully it also is our answer for Shieldred. Could bring in Farewell. Farewell answers everything. Can we find room for all these cards? That's a problem. Like, we don't really want to cut that much ramp. I guess our opponent's not very aggro, so maybe we just cut the Grazers. Plan on taking a slightly slower path to victory. Wormcoil isn't needed. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not. I was a little bit nervous about how low we got on life last time. We could take out the Great Breakers. Oh, so I saw this thing today, Chad, about people wondering about who's going to be the next James Bond, and that got me thinking. I know I always like to make fun of Lord of the Rings a little bit, but I realized today is James Bond just like way more overrated than Lord of the Rings even? Like, is James Bond actually good? Why do people care about James Bond in 2023? Is there some redeeming quality to James Bond movies that I'm missing? They made like 1 million of them. There's been a thing for like 30 years. What is the allure of Bond movies? I really don't get it. For me, there's some nostalgia in 007. The old game, the first iconic like shooter game, at least the one that I played. But as far as the movies go, I do not understand why anyone what is the appeal? What is the appeal of Bond movies? Now let's play a Guildgate. How about a Guildgate opponent? The game was sweet. Yeah, the old game. It's so bad now. I played it recently. I played 007 recently. The graphics are so bad. Like, none of it stands up to anywhere near 2023 standards as far as just like quality, but boy did I love that game when I was growing up. Opponent beating us down with the Orcish Bowmasters, and how's about an unlicensed hearse? Sure. Well, let's breeding pool, and yeah, I guess we can just play Guild Summit. Stop the beats for now. Casual 4/4 for 3. Some good, some bad. Okay, so question: what's the best Bond movie? Let's say I'm being too harsh on Bond movies, and I need to give one another chance. What one would you push me towards as far as you should really watch this one or whatever? Now let's explore. Draw a card. Yeah, grow your thing. Yes, I get it. Plaza of Harmony. Also, Plaza of Harmony. And then sweep away your Bowmaster because we want to draw cards over your opponent. Skyfall? I don't think I've ever seen Kai. Okay, so I know Casino Royale. I know that's like a classic. I've never seen GoldenEye. I know the game, but I've never actually watched the movie GoldenEye. Opponent, land, and... Well, if we draw an untap land, we get to Primeval Titan. Otherwise, I guess we're guild summiting, guild gating, refilling a little bit, hoping there's not even more Bowmasters. I guess Bowmasters... Someone mentioned Valakut of... Alright, well, yeah, I guess you got us, sort of. Yeah, that... I mean, well, now we definitely need the... We definitely need this guild summit now, since our opponent's attacking our hand. 1, 2, 3. Guild summit. Tap a couple gates, draw a couple guards. So, question then, who should be the next James Bond? Since apparently that's a thing people actually care about. Do we have opinions, chat, on who should be the next James Bond? I think it should be who's Drogo from Game of Thrones. We got to shake it up a little bit. It's all these like British guys. We need to shake it up a little bit. Oh yeah, see Idris Elba, I can get behind that. That's something different. It's not just like, oh, another British guy. Wall of Chaos, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Well, opponent's gonna try to Crucius, but we are just going to Actually, what do we do here? Do we just keep drawing cards? We're at 18. The problem with this is if they find a Sheoldred, well, I guess we have the Gates ablaze. Yeah, I guess we just keep drawing cards. Guild Summit. Number 2. Draw a card. Draw a card, draw a card. Well, are the Hind. Oh, we found the Farewell too. Things are looking good. Michael Cera would be actually hilarious. Does oh yeah, this is some Primeval Titan Maze's End. Is Michael Cera still acting? I used to Arrested Development. I used to love that. I mean, I still love that show. The last season was not as good, but Arrested Development, one of my favorite shows. And Michael Cera was a big reason why that show was so good. All right. Well, opponent, I have some bad news for you, Sheoldred. Our opponent's done their job and played a lot of Sheoldreds. Unfortunately for them, we're going to name artifacts, creatures, and graveyards. Unfortunately for them, we have done our job and killed a lot of Sheoldreds. Heilig is now Crucius. Land. Back up to 16. Explore a little bit. Well, there's a Wormcoil. Wormcoil may actually be sweet here. He's in the Barbie. Wait, is he a Barbie? Or he's just in the Barbie movie? Is he Ken? No, there's no way. There's no way Michael Cera's Ken, is he? That would be... I don't know anything about the Barbie movie. Yeah, Bowmaster's out of here. Well, this has not even been close. We're playing against, like, one of the best decks in Historic, and we are just stomping him with a bunch of common tap lands. He's Lifeguard. Oh, are there a whole bunch of Kens and Barbies? Is this like a world full of Kens and Barbies? Oh, I see. Gate's too good. We actually just crushed Rakdos there. Oh, it's like the song. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Did they make a movie based on that super cheesy old song? It's gotta be. What a world. What a world. They need to do James Bond medieval version with the original 007 John D. Ooh. I heard that the cast for Barbie had a group chat, but Michael Cera wasn't in it because he had a flip phone. I don't know if that's true though. I don't know that much about Michael Cera, but the little bits that I've heard about Michael Cera, that seems believable to me. I will say, what made me respect... So I always thought that Michael Cera was like, seemed like a pretty cool guy. He was kind of funny and quirky, a little nerdy, you know. He seemed cool. But what really sold me on him being a person of good taste that I would probably like is he plays music, and he did a cover of Clay Pigeons by Blaze Foley, and that if you know Blaze Foley music and you do a cover of it, you gotta have pretty decent taste and stuff. So I could see the flip phone thing actually being true. I bet, you know, seriously, someday I bet you flip phones are gonna be worth, you know, like a Black Lotus, how Black Lotus is super expensive because everyone's, you know, mothers threw them away when they went off to college, and no one actually like saved them because they didn't know they'd be worth anything. Flip phone's gonna be the same way, right? Like give it another like 5 or 10 years. No one thought, well, I better save this flip phone because Michael Cera is really gonna want it 30 years from now. They're probably gonna be worth thousands of dollars. I'm gonna sell my Magic collection and invest in flip phone stocks. Does anyone have any flip phone stock tips for me? What do you recommend? I need some flip phone finance. I mean, it is kind of true though. Like, original NES games are super valuable now. Like, old video games, like, all that stuff's gonna come back around. Ooh, Fable the Mia Breaker. See, this is why I really hate Abriel Grazer. Every time we play Grazer, even in a deck like this that has like infinite lands, we're playing 27 lands in this deck, it fails us. It just fails us. Video game market is a scam. Is that true? Is the video game market a scam? Hey, Lucid, how are you? Long time no see. Do you think it's an oversight to have not made the huge new colorless cards in the pre-con Tribal Eldrazi cards? Feels weird to see Rise of the Eldrazi not bring the mechanic back. So, Lucid, my guess is we will never see tribal cards again. I think maybe like if this was 5 or 10 years ago, then yes, I would probably think it would be a mistake, like from a consistency and flavor issue or whatever. I would be shocked if we saw another tribal card, period. Like a card with the tribal type. I would be shocked at this point. Well, I mean, cards like Bitter Blossom, like All Is Dust or Bitter Blossom. I think All Is Dust is the... Oh boy, we really need a Gates Ablaze. Sheoldred is back for its revenge after we absolutely crushed them last game. Like All Is Dust. All Is Dust is a tribal sorcery Eldrazi. I would be surprised if we ever saw this tribal subtype again. It's like, it is almost never actually relevant as far as gameplay. I think it's really, we haven't seen it. When was the last time we actually saw a tribal type card? I can't even think of the last time. Like, they've already kind of been phased out of the game. And with Wizards kind of like moving away from even using the term tribal at this point, I would be very surprised if they actually printed more cards with the tribal type. And I honestly don't think it's not really much of a loss as far as I can tell. Like, it's just like mostly meaninless text. There's some like fringe upsides. Like your Bit of Blossom is a fairy card, so you can put your what's the fairy that goes over other fairies and then taps all your opponent's stuff down? It used to be a thing in Standard. Like, there's like really fringe situations where it kind of matters. Well, let's add. No! Oh my goodness! Oh, now we're dead. Wow. We just got alchemied. We got alchemied hard. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Okay. We were trying to cast a Escape, but instead this random alchemy gate just decided to seek. I missed your resub. Oh no! My apologies Free Jazz, my apologies for the 14th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Hey, Seth, thanks for being awesome. Any chance we can see Trading Post Tron return at some point? Ooh, that's a good I mean, on one hand, I kind of hate Tron. On the other hand, I kind of love Trading Post. So I think that's a possibility. Do we have Trading Post on Arena? They really need to add it to Arena, and then we can do it on Arena. All right, Grazer, you're out of here, bud. You betrayed us. Hey, Goldfish, would you be able to take a look at my 100-pound budget Pioneer deck, please? Tell me what you think. I would like to add another Ivy. Not sure if there's enough interaction. Can't catch many streams. Managed to catch this. Can you take a look? Yeah, let me take a look, Autism. Let's see. $100 auras. Ooh. Yeah, late boss ROMs. If you can stick your key payoffs in a deck like this, oh, you go in very quickly. The deck can really go off. I've played decks like this before. The challenge is always like you run into the removal heavy deck that's just like, oh, fatal push your Psalm, fatal push your light pause, whatever, lightning strike your Psalm, just removal. That's when it gets a little sketchy, but the build looks solid. So the thing I might be so I guess we got the Surges and Tameo safekeeping. I was gonna say like protection's very important, but it looks like you got that covered in the sideboard. So if you hit the removal heavy matchups, you can bring in the Surge and safekeepings. That actually looks really solid. That looks, I mean, if I was gonna build a $100 budget build of Enchantress, I would, or like whatever SRAM auras, I would hope that it turned out very similar to this. If you want to tweak, I could see like maybe go down one Curious Obsession for one Ivy or something if you want to get the extra Ivy in there. But to me, that looks it looks very solid. We will play first, Magic Gods. Ooh. Oh, 2 colorless lands. We're playing 27 lands. We're going to hit them, right? We're going to hit them. We got to hit them. I blame Alchemy. I'm always going to blame Alchemy. Equinox, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. You know, this will be fine. This will be fine. We'll draw a colored mana, right? Yeah, that looks really good, gaming. I like it. Well, we got our Maze's End. Opponent. Oh, that's not it. Okay, we're not a colorless deck. I promise. I linked you this deck last stream. We never really checked it out since we're in the middle of a good match. Well, let me see, Tuka buddy. Well, okay, Dimir Gilgate's better than nothing. Not as good as green mana, but opponent. Gonna do some pinging of our face. I mean, we have Gates Ablaze for. Oh boy. Oh, now we want a red source. We really would like a red source. Red source arguably wins us the game if we draw a red gate. Okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Well, okay. Guild Summit. We have 3 colorless lands in our deck, and we have drawn 3 colorless lands. We have drawn every one of the colorless. Oh, and that's the game breaker out. We should have mulliganed. We definitely should have mulliganed. Well, why did Alchemy keep us from mulliganing? Alchemy, what are you doing? Ooh, Aragon, eh? Aragon with Karuga Companion. That's a cool take on Aragon. I like the creature-y plan. I feel like the most common. Oh, wow. Okay. That's on us. We should have. That's on us. We should have taken and actually just mulligan there. Not mulliganing was absolutely brutal there. Wait, we had red mana? Does that actually work? It doesn't seem like it works. Add 1 mana of any type a gate you control could produce. It seems like it. Well, I don't know. We'll have to check it next time. Does it actually work? Oh, it didn't. Oh, Alchemy. It didn't look like it. It looked like the land looked Dimir colored, but maybe it actually does work. Will you build blue-red Eminent Domain now that Frost Titan's on Arena? I have a blue-red Giants deck with Frost Titan. The problem is we don't have any of the land stealing cards, like none of them. So I don't know if we have the pieces to actually recreate the old Eminent Domain deck. Okay, this looks Where's our green mana? Why do we... Grazer. All right, we're going to mulligan. We're going to be... Wait. This is... Wait. How does this keep at? Let me look at this deck list. Let me look at this. I swear we have almost no colorless lands in this deck. How is this possible? How many so we have, oh, we got rid of the Thran Portal for a forest. We have 2 Maze's End, 1 Baldur's Gate, and then I guess the plazas are kind of color. Okay, I guess we're just low rolling here then. I mean, we're just low rolling. Well, this is real bad. I mean, I think our odds of winning this are almost 0. Yeah, Baldur's Gate sort of taps for any color. It taps for any color if you already have a bunch of gates on the battlefield. So if you already get a bunch of gates, it's good at tapping for a bunch of colors. But you do need gates for days. All right, opponent doing sacrifice stuff. So we're gonna need a sweeper. Blood Artist 2. All right. All right. Well, let's grow Spiral. How about a land? Well, Gates Ablaze. And a land. I mean, this is probably worth it, right? Yeah, I think we gotta do it. All right, let's Gates Ablaze. Yeah, the deck is built around Aragon and Arwen's Wedding. Every creature in the deck is a human or an elf, plus every card aside from Wedding Ring is multicolor. Ooh, see, it's hard to really parse commander decks with 100 singleton cards during his stream. I didn't realize that it was all humans and elves. So with the flavor, that makes it even better. Seems like a flavor win. But yeah, I like that it's not like just, oh, a charm deck with Aragon or something. It's doing something different. That looks super cool. Jim Davis played a similar deck with 30 lands. 30 lands is so many. So many. I don't like, so getting stuck on lands is annoying, but also flooding out is annoying. 30 is a bit too many. A bit too many for me, I think. Opponent. Thought seizes us. I mean, we got another Gates Ablaze. They can't thought seize our exile zone. So we're still in a pretty good spot here. Opponent gets in, hits us. So we can Gates Ablaze sweep the board. Guild Summit. Yep, get drained. Guild Summit. Draw Baldur's Gate. Draw a card. Well, we found another prime time. We're actually kind of close. Pull from Eternity would be another good addition to Arena. Ooh, Yage. Okay. Well, we will match your Yag with a mighty Primeval Titan. So we need a Maze's End. And then let's grab one of these janky gates. So we get to draw a card, play a Guild Gate, draw a card, and pass the turn. How close are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, Blood Artist, Tomb Traveler. So opponent can do some sack stuff. We might be able to win this turn, though, right? With Primeval Titan, we're pretty close. Our opponent needs actually to kill the Primeval Titan. Okay, sacks, drains, sure. I mean, the problem for them is a Maze's End kill. Well, they're going to keep going, Doom Traveler. Sack the Doom Traveler, draw a card. They're out of mana, though, right? So we should be okay. If they can kill the primetime, we might not win. Sack the Spirit, draw a card down to 8. Yog doing Yog things. Land, opponent goes attacking, no blocks. Sure. Down to 6. Grow Spiral. I think we got him. With the Maze's End. Hopefully. Go to combat. Opponent's counting. We're attacking with our Primeval Titan. Yes, we would like to grab gates. We will take this one and this one. Draw a couple cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About it. Oh, we got there. Red Squatch, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop chip for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank ya. Circuitous Root. Try to get Seth to go to Gen Con. Who are you? When is Gen Con? Is it Gen Con time already? Get a couple gates, draw a couple cards, and last but not least, man, Primeval Titan's like insane in this deck, isn't it? Primeval Titan seems really good in this deck. And opponent did Yogg stuff, not good enough. How good is Gen Con? Would I enjoy it? I know you always swear by a dog of myth, and you got me. Was it Gen Con last year that you got me the Panharmonicon? You sent me the Panharmonicon print 2 weeks from today. Are you going again this year? I always wonder, because you know me, like, I love Magic, and that's kind of my thing, but I've never been, like, super into Magic adjacent stuff. Do you think would I get enough enjoyment out of it? Would I enjoy Gen Con, even though I don't really do, like, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon or whatever? Oh, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, do any of you play Yu-Gi-Oh? I gotta know if this is actually a true thing. So, Krim was telling me the other day, he had like a box of Magic cards, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It was Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Apparently, and this made me so incredibly jealous. Apparently, Yu-Gi-Oh is like, hey, we're gonna reprint the original set, like as far as I can tell, like the Yu-Gi-Oh version of Alpha. They're gonna reprint their first ever set, and they're gonna sell the boxes of that set for $70. For $70 a box, and they're tournament legal. Does anyone know about? Is that actually like a real thing? I was about to cry. Like, we get $1,000 not tournament legal 30th anniversary reprints, and they're just like reprinting their first set, reselling reprints of their boxes for $70. Oh yeah, that's so cheap, so cheap. I wish we could do more like that in Magic. Did you see what did you make of this? Did you see the counter spell? There was this article posted on the mothership today that kind of reads like gibberish. So Blake posted this article, a tale of a non-tournament legal counter spell. Psst, hey you over there, want to see something cool? And then there's this really wonky looking, but super cool. I would so jam this card. Super cool playtest counter spell. Fun, right? And it looks a little bit like one of those playtest cards from Mystery Boosters, one of those special cards from Gavin Verfe's events at MagicCon, but it was created in a brand new way. We call them playtest cards because they look like we used to, well, playtest cards before making the real thing. Only this one, which is super cool, is the first one of these things you might see in the wild that represents an actual real pre-existing card. So while it's super cool, and it may also be confusing because playtest cards are very much not tournament legal, counter spells in most cases very much is. In this case, however, this particular counter spell, much like the playtest card you're looking at, is not tournament legal. Played against your friends, keep it in your binder, tape it to your mirror for morning motivation. You do you. You just can't do this with card in tournaments. That's all carry on. What do you? Yeah, I maybe it was written by the Blake KI. I have no idea what this article is trying to say. The card looks cool. What do you think this is? What do you think? Like, what are they doing with these non-tournament legal cards? Do you have any guesses? Like, so apparently this card is going to be in the wild. It's SL playtest. It says at the bottom. Is this a new, like, not tournament legal secret lair drop? I mean, I hope it's reserve list or convention as well. That would be awesome. Is it a new secret layer drop? Imagine, like, I would be so happy if we started seeing like original dual lands like this. At this point, I've started to like give up on caring about cards being tournament legal. Like, yes, I would like to see tournament legal original dual lands and old reserve list cards, but not tournament legal ones. Still serve a pretty big purpose these days if they're actually accessible, and like unlike the 30th anniversary stuff that was just so expensive. Wait, Strict Proctor. Settle down over there, opponent. Trying to shut down our prime time, are you? That's not nice. About it with the Doom Traveler. I hope they aggressively try to... circumvent the reserve list. That would make me very happy. I think that would be awesome. Hey Seth, saw you were in a Days and Days shirt a few streams back. Was curious what songs there's your like. Also, any other recommendation of folk punk bands that you would like to recommend? Ooh, I actually... So... Wait! That counters our guild summit? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a lot worse than I realized. Oh, now we're definitely gonna win this one. I actually made this playlist on Spotify... Doom Traveler. I actually made this playlist on Spotify a bit ago, which is, it's not all just acoustic punk, but it's got some like alt bluegrass stuff, murder folk stuff, but yeah, that'll give you a bit of an idea of the kind of stuff I like. Are we dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The problem is we can't actually... Well, I guess our best bet is just, boy, we are not drawing any cards. I don't know if I've ever gotten so wrecked by a Strict Proctor before. That was not on my cards to be afraid of list, but look at all these cards we are not drawing because of Strict Proctor. Well, yeah, we'll do some ramping. We'll play a gate. We won't draw any cards because Strict Proctor is apparently busted. Well, I mean, we have the Farewell. Do we live? Do we actually survive to cast the Farewell? It looks like to me we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we live at 2 potentially, unless they have another Blood Artist. While we're on the subject of music, have you heard of Les Rizel's Denudes? I have not. Murder folk stuff sounds like a felony. Yeah, it's actually a music genre. Opponent, Zaggy, drawing down to 1. Blood Artist. Are we gonna stabilize with Farewell at 1 life? Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that is Strict Proctor just wrecking us. Wrecking us. Oh, and the slow roll Thoughtseize too. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna bring in even more removal. Oh, I thought we were gonna steal the win at 1 life. I thought we were actually gonna straight up steal the win at 1 life. All right, we're gonna go down the gate breaker ramp, so we're just gonna go full on gate control. No creatures except primetime, all the removal. Can you drop YouTube link in the Discord for some folk punk bands you think I think you dig? Yeah, sure. I'd love that, Mormon Freeman, please. Well, this hand's not fast, but we're gonna try it. As long as our opponent does not have Strict Proctor, the strongest card in the history of Magic, apparently. Or Thoughtseize, which actually might be the strongest card in the history of Magic. Yeah, we wanted that Guild Summit. Well, I mean, they can't take both of our card draw spells. I imagine they take Guild Summit. They do. Well, Tap land, go. Not doing anything for a minute. Not doing anything for a minute. Opponent, untap land. Even more thought seizes. Haha. Well, bad news, opponent. We have drawn the card you thought seized. Alright, sorry, Fred. And they didn't take the farewell, so, and they don't have a strict proctor this time. Come on, thought seizes now, opponent. Thought seizes now. Simic Gilgay, draw a card. No strict proctor to ruin art. Seriously. Seriously. Okay, Bowmasters. Alright. Yeah. Opponent. Our opponent's just full of very unfun surprises for us today. And there's a Cruel Celebrant. And a Priest of Forgotten Gods. And goes attacking down to 13. Now play Plaza. Orcish Bowmasters. Alright. So we passed the turn. We hope they do not draw Thoughtseize number 3. Opponent. Tithe Taker. Okay. I mean, we're basically just trusting in this farewell. Haunted Witness. Okay. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent attacks. Down to 12. Oh, they're going to sack and try to draw into the Thoughtseize. Sacks. Drains us to 8. If they draw a Thoughtseize, I swears to the magic gods. Land. Yogg. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're base. Oh, 7. Oh, we're dead, aren't we? Because they get the mass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Okay, rematch, opponent. Rematch. That was a very interesting way to lose. Orcish Bowmasters, sure, that's a card you expect to run into. That game 2 for our opponent with Strict Proctor, just randomly YOLOing it. I'm considering building a Volo EDH deck. Would you say the blue-green version is better, or should I run the background Volo with appropriate background? Oh, see, I think I'm just going to cut Grazer. Grazer's just not a good card. It never works. It's like the Delver. It flips for opponents. Never ever works for me. 0% for Aberro Grazer to actually be good. Yeah, it's even like a non-bow in their deck, isn't it? It's even a non-bow in their deck with Bowmasters, and still worked out. You need a critical. I mean, we're playing 27 lands. That's 27's a pretty big number, I would say. I mean, I guess it kind of works here. It can block a spirit. That's good. We're not going to get got by Curious Obsession. Whether or not we can resolve our spells is another question. Opponent. Yeah, Bowmaster's probably just so busted that it's worth a bit of a non-bow. Sure. Well, we draw a gate, so we'll play Explore. Can we make enough mana to resolve the Gates Ablaze through the Mausoleum Wanderer and Supreme Phantom? 56 lands, 4 Gazers. Got him. Got him. Opponent, are you sacking? Yeah, I mean, it is good against aggro. That's really the only reason it's in the deck. Like, it is an early game blocker, which Gates can be pretty slow. It is playing a lot of tap lands. It's got a insane late game. So it really is in the deck primarily to hopefully ramp, but mostly to be a blocker. Hey, what's up, Mega Magikarp? How are things today? Well, let's grow Spiral. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will play a Guild Summit. Tap, tap. Play a Breeding Pool. Pass the turn. We still only have 3 gates at the moment, which is not enough to sweep. Opponent. This Mausoleum Wanderer really getting us. Yeah, we need more Explorers. We've only had 1 so far. 2 Explorers, guaranteed win. Staggering Insight. Opponent goes attacking. I guess we block. We don't want our opponent to start drawing cards. About it. I mean, I guess we can just slam Primeval Titan. I don't know if it'll resolve, but I guess that's our current plan. About it. It's us. Hey, Seth, slow day right now at work, so can tune in. Love to see me some Sun Titan. I also love me some Sun Titan. Oh. Oh. How do we do this? How do we do this in a way that could work? So opponent's leaving up mana. 1, 2, so we'd have to play the tap gate and Gates Ablaze. In theory, if our opponent has nothing, that works and it's very good. If our opponent has things, it's much less good. You think just go for the sweeper and hope and pray? You know what I think we do? Let's play Plaza. Gain a little life. I think this is better. Maybe we can bait our opponent into using the counter on the root. If we can get rid of this Mausoleum Wanderer. With an extra gate in play, it would kill everything. Because it would kill the first Lord, which would kill the second Lord. It would kind of snowball, if that makes sense. Is there any way they're actually going to sack this? The other option is just slam Primeval Titan. You know what? Let's slam Primeval Titan. Opponent. Apparently has something. Not something that's going to stop a Primeval Titan, though. Yes, we will do some tutoring. Baldur's Gate. And we got to just go gate, I think. Baldur's Gate and Random Gate. Draw 2. All right, go prime time. Go prime time. Hey, what's up, Affinity? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Does prime time go in a normal Gates deck now? I mean, I think this is pretty much a normal Gates deck, I would say. I would say so. If you're, I mean, on Arena, it's not legal in Pioneer still, but if you're in a format where you got prime time, I think it's worth it. Gonna send you 2 albums to check out after the stream. One I feel is right up your alley, the other's a bit different, but I think you could appreciate it. Oh, hey, thank you, Mega Magikarp. I look forward to it. I always like finding some new music. All right, opponent. On the fence about timing out for no apparent reason. All right, your go, opponent. Do your worst. I mean, I don't think we die here. Well, maybe we die here. Okay, opponent. Yeah, flashes and rattle chains. Plays a land, goes to combat swings. Wow. Okay, just a Mausoleum Wander. We drop to 1. Opponent draws a card. Can we make enough mana to get out of this? Wow, this is so close. Okay, so. Wow, this is really interesting. Go to combat. Get in with Primeval Titan. Yes, we would like some gates. Azorius Guildgate. Gruul Guildgate. Draw a couple cards. So opponent can counter unless we pay 6. I mean, oh, I almost did it again. This is going to kill our Primeval Titan. But we get to Gates Ablaze. Oh. We're in combat. All right. Yeah, you get to block first. Sorry. You get to block first. You got a little excited. Autumn Shake! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Opponent. I mean, we should be okay, right? So we sweep 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate, 4 gate, 5 gate, 6 gate, 7 gate. I guess we're still a minute away from... Well, actually, depending on what our opponent does, we might be able to win next turn with Maze's End. Well, I love Frost Titan. I always really like Primeval Titan's flavor text. When nature calls run. Yeah, that is a good one. What do you think, now that we're seeing Primetime on Arena, do you actually think Primetime needs to be banned in Commander? I feel like Primetime... I feel like Primetime should probably be unbanned. I kind of think that it's unnecessarily banned here. So we make 6. Yeah, I think this works. So we make 6. We Gates Ablaze. Opponent sacks. We pay the 3. Opponent sacks. We pay the 3. We sweep the board. We play Gatebreaker Ram. We play Maze's End. I gotta look up the... I wonder if I can find this. I gotta look up the reason for why Primeval Titan was banned, because I think that it looks kind of quaint today compared to where it was like a decade ago. So we should be able to win here, right? Circudius Rue. Actually, okay, so we can play Demir Guildgate, draw a card. Pump the Ram. We should be able to win with Maze's End. Like, the Maze's End win con is actually pretty simple. Why do you think it needs to be stay banned, Doug? I would say, so what I would say, what I see as the downside of unbanning it is I do think it's just a staple. It's hard for me to imagine any deck with green mana not wanting it. So from that perspective, I can see the argument for leaving it banned. Like, do we want another staple? Do we want another card that, if you're trying to build your deck optimally, you should just play in every deck of the colors? That's the downside. On the other hand, like, is it really too powerful? I remember the original reasoning for the banning was something about like people cloning it or something. like the once it hits a battlefield, the game becomes about cloning a Primeval Titans or something. Aren't there a lot of creatures that are like that though? Like any of the primordial cycle, like consecrated sphinx. There's a lot of top end creatures that once it hits a battlefield, if you're playing clones, you're probably better off just trying to clone them than doing anything else. So for me, that's not really that much of a deal breaker. Yeah, I guess there's so many staples these days that maybe it's one of those like, why bother to fight it things? But that's a Field of the Dead problem, right? The problem with, yes, Field of the Dead OP, but like, I don't know if I want a card like Primeval Titan to be banned because of Field of the Dead. I think then you just ban Field of the Dead. Ban Thoracle. Thoracle's really funny. Are you a CDH player, Seasums? I feel like if you're a casual Commander player, how many of you actually play with or against Thoracle? I don't know if it's just like my play group, but I feel like in casual play, I never play against Thoracle. Everyone is just self-selected it out of decks. Like, it exists. It's a legal card, but literally none of us play it. No one plays it because it's considered to be too easy or unfun or like, you name a reason. Like, there's plenty of reasons, but so I don't know. Yes, I think it should be banned based on power level. It's a card that I don't think is a positive one and one that I don't really want to exist in the format. But at the same time, I don't know if everyone just refuses to play it. Is it one of those weird things where and I hate this argument, but like, oh, just rule zero it or whatever. It's like so abused. But in this case, like, if no one actually plays it, maybe it's not that much of a problem because no one actually does it. You do not just put Farewell in. Oh, we're gonna resolve that Farewell. Don't worry. We will find a way through our opponent's endless counters. Coalition victory. Yeah. I can't. So I've always been a Coalition victory should be unbanned person. I will say, and honestly, Thassa's Oracle kind of works against this. I think that win the game cards are at their healthiest, not their most powerful, but they're at their healthiest when they trigger on your upkeep. If you look through Magic's history, almost every win the game card, especially one that's somewhat attainable, you gotta wait till your upkeep to win. I could see Coalition victory because it is a win right now win con. I could see that maybe being frustrating for people. I still would like to see it unbanned, but that is my one concern with it is cards that just out of the blue you cast it and it says win the game. They can be kind of frustrating, and I love alt win conditions. Selfless Spirit, okay. Well, that's what our farewell's for. We are nowhere near having red mana at the moment. Will we ever cast a spell? Thassa's Oracle's only problem with Demonic Consultation. If you're not in black, Thoracle isn't a scary card. I run it in Is all the time and no one cares. I have stopped playing it. When it first came out, I would just play it because I like to draw a lot of cards, and I'd be like, well, I might actually just draw my whole deck this game, so I might as well have a Thassa's Oracle just in case. If things go really well this game, I hope to draw my entire deck, so I would just run a random Thassa's Oracle, but I've pretty much stopped playing it completely, because I found it's one of those cards that I didn't feel good about winning with. Like, even when I won, I wouldn't come away from the game feeling like, wow, that was really satisfying. I would find myself like apologizing, like, yeah, I win, like, sorry everyone. So when cards get like that, I stop playing it. CDH Slicer Hired Muscle is Peach CDH. Actually, we just played CDH for Commander Clash today. We just recorded a CDH game, and someone was on Slicer. And it does add a really interesting element to the game. That is for sure. It does add a very interesting element. I was gonna play. Maybe y'all are smarter than I am. I'm sure you are. I was gonna play this, so I asked. Charles, the mono white guy, a CDH player I know. Like, do you have any decks that are? Do you have any decks that are like legitimate CDH decks? I don't want to play a deck and then have people be like, oh, that's not actually CDH. I try to avoid that when we do CDH week, when people are just like, oh, that's not a real CDH deck or whatever. So do you have a deck that would qualify as like a real CDH deck, but is also spicy and something a little bit different? Yeah, Charles is. I like Charles as a person and as a Magic player. I will say CDH players blow me away. They're really good CDH players are some of the best Magic players I know. They're very, very good at the game. Just the way they think about it, the way they interact with it, the way they play it, it is really impressive to me. But he's like, oh yeah, I got this. Yeah, it was his deck. He was the OW deck that I played last CDH week. So he's like, oh, I got this deck. My friend, Comedian MTG, has this cool Sisay deck. I think it'll be perfect. Dragon Bones, welcome to the Fishbowl for the 31st month. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoop chair for you. So like, okay, that sounds cool. I'll pull this up. I pull it up. There's like Invasion of Ikoria, random Aminatus, random Saheelis, Nicole Bolas Dragon Gods, Dahada. Like, it's just a pile of stuff. And I was like, I have no idea. So I looked up, there was a video by Comedian MTG where they were like describing the deck. And they went in this, big spiel about like, you have to, if you tap a single land the wrong way, you're gonna get super punished. You're gonna lose. But if you like very complicated but if you like really, I'm gonna have to take these alchemy lands out of the deck because every time I try to tap them for mana, I end up. How did I even do this? What? Nothing popped up. There was no pop-up selection thing. Why is it seeking a card? I'm just trying to manually tap my mana. Did I actually curse? If I did, I didn't mean to. My apologies. How about they're all part of the plan? We were just trying to seek another Primeval Titan. We really wanted the third Primeval Titan. Hey, what's up, Rooker? How are you? But I watched the. Shouldn't it pop up? Like, shouldn't it not be easy for you to accidentally seek something when you're trying to do something else? It seems like that should be really difficult, but instead it's apparently like incredibly easy. Stop manual. But the thing is, this deck actually kind of needs to manually tap because Arena always just wants to use Baldur's Gate. Anytime you try to cast a spell, it's just gonna be like, oh, automatically Baldur's Gate for that color, which is not usually optimal. We are dead now, right? Because of Indestructible. Are we dead? I guess we're not officially dead, but probably dead. So play this. This has already been used, right? So see, it should pop up like this. Why did it see? I still don't understand why it sought there. So let's make some red mana. Make a green mana. Play Escape to the Wilds. Draw a bunch of cards that are not especially helpful. Play Plaza of Harmony. Gain a little life. I mean, we kind of still have a little chance, right? We kind of still have a little chance. So we go up to 6. Now we can Brotherhood's End. 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. How many gates are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, if we can survive a turn, I think we can get the Maze's End kill. Opponent. So if they have to sack the Selfless Spirit, at least they lose their clock. 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate, 4 gate, 5 gate, 6 gate, 7 gate, 8 gate, 9. We might be able to do it. I'm hyped for Eldraine spoilers. I'm actually honestly very excited. Ooh. Okay. So they quell it. 3, 6, 7. Primeval Titan. Oh, but we don't have a Maze's End. Huh. Oh. Do we play to win or do we play to not die? Do we play to win next turn or do we play to make sure we survive this turn? Actually, I think we make sure we survive this turn. Double Plaza. Back up to 12. Not dying yet. We have such an absurd amount of mana. And plus, we still have Deafening Clarion, so next turn we can pseudo sweep again and gain 6 from prime time. I also hate that that the Gates from Alchemy do something different than the official cards, the paper versions. I think this is the least greedy way to play it. I think just like making sure we live. We have a Primeval Titan. We have a ton of rampant card draw. If we can stay alive 2 turns, we're essentially guaranteed to win with Maze's End. But anyway, this Sisay Legends deck, I forgot, it was mid-story. So I pulled up the video and they're like, just like, yeah, it's like the hardest deck ever. And I was like, there's no way I can do this correctly. There's no way, like, I'm sure it's a deck that if you play hundreds of games with, it's awesome, or even like 20 games with. But there's no way I'm going to pick up this deck in the dark, never having played it before, and sit down to a game of Commander and do it anywhere close to right. So I ended up being like, I don't think I can actually make it work. About it. Hits us down to 5. All right, so 1, 2. Make a bunch of mana. It'll be... Actually, I guess we don't have to do that yet. Okay, let's think about this. 1, 2, 3. Guild Summit. How do we feel about a Guild Summit? Opponent lets it go. Decline. 1, 2, 3. How about another Guild Summit? How are we feeling about that one? I'm just trying to tap my lands. I don't want to seek. I really, really, really don't want to seek. Decline. Guildgate, draw 2. All right, Grazer A. Well, play a Grazer. Guildgate. Draw 2. There's a Gates ablaze. Well, 1, 2. Make green mana. Red. White. Deafening Clarion. 3 damage, lifelink. Yeah, that's the hope. Alright, opponent's gonna sack. Okay. We will explore. Put a land into play. Draw a couple cards. we will... Primeval Titan. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? We have so many lands. Okay. Okay, this is big. This is big. Plaza. Maze's End. Gain some life. Combat. Can you stop the prime time? Get in with prime time. Oh, we did it! Oh my goodness, we actually found a way through there. Oh, that was a tense game. That was a close one. That was a really close one. So wait, what are we with this deck so far? I need to switch to the other overlay. Now that we're done with spoilers, I know I said that before. I really do need to do that. What is our deck with Gates? We're 2-2. 2-2 with Gates so far. Are there any? So I know one of the answers. I know one of the answers for this. Let's do one more with this, and then we'll probably try the Blink deck. So I know one of the answers to this is going to be, please, for the love of God, finally find a way to let us use channel points. And I hear ya, and you are correct. Question though, is there any other improvements you'd really like to see on the stream? I felt like in the last year or two, put a lot of effort into improving stuff on the YouTube, learned a lot of stuff about just how to make better YouTube content, better videos, how to set up the channel, a lot of stuff like that. I know, Ricker, I know. But I feel like I haven't done nearly as much with the stream. So I'm curious, that's something that's on my to-do list. How can I make this? Because I feel like I love hanging out with y'all. But in a lot of ways, we're kind of doing the same thing that we've been doing forever, which is hanging out a couple times a week, which is great. But what can I do other than, I know, something with the channel points? What can I do to make the experience more enjoyable for y'all? What would you say? Any suggestions? Well, go Grazer. Go Arboreal Grazer. Actually, go to the. Actually, we'll keep it. So if we keep Grazer, we put Plaza to the bottom on Twitch or YouTube. So for Twitch, only fan stream. Okay. Love the stream. Well, thank you, Lord. I appreciate the kind words. Deck building stream. So we've done some deck building streams, but I think that's something that could definitely explore more of in the future. Maybe one time a week play viewer voted decks. Ooh, that could be kind of fun. Oh, I do want to do a Worms Armageddon stream. You know what, white jerk Jack, you're getting the mute, buddy. Your incessant "you're going" is driving me insane. Plaza A. Is there a card I'm not thinking of that could kill our Lair of the Hydra if I fire it up? There shouldn't be, right? Hopefully. No, actually, I guess it should be safe. Rakdos? There's no way. If they have Unholy Heat after it's been rebalanced, there's no... we're going to accept the risk. This is probably way too greedy, but I think the odds are very low that they can kill it. All right, down to 18. There is not a way to have permanent mute. Yeah, Shock or Play with Fire would do it, although they're not cards that are very heavily played outside of Burn style decks. Well, there's blue mana. All right. Well, how about some card draw, Magic Gods? Seth, what do you think about Reprieve from LTR? Swap Deadly Dispute for Reprieve and Orzhov tokens. It's been sweet. Cards are really good. Really, really good. So, oh god, that's a one ring. So more brewing stuff. More brewing stuff. Once a month viewer battle live stream. So I think Oh, that's actually really nice. I think more viewer battle live streams definitely in the cards. I think that's really good feedback. I don't know if it'll be once a month. I think I'm hoping to at minimum do like once a quarter, once a set release, which would still actually be way more frequently than we have been doing it. But Worms World Party. See, I'm not the biggest fan of World Party. I feel like Worms World Party is just bad Worms Armageddon. Don't get me started on Worms. I love Worms. Worms was one of my all-time favorite games. I can't figure out for the life of me why Worms hasn't caught on. Worms, in the pandemic, I kept thinking, why is this not a thing? Like, you can play it on mobile. It's a good way to, like, get people to get, like, if everyone's going crazy about, like, Among Us, these, like, multiplayer kind of party games, couldn't you do, shouldn't Worms be way more popular than it currently is? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like it should be way more popular than it currently is. All right, opponent is doing busted one ring things. Well, we draw a guild gate, play a guild gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it worth attacking? I mean, I guess probably at this point. Get in for 4. The other option is just use, you know what? That's actually, I think seeking end step's going to be better here. We're actually going to get value out of these cheaty gates. But seriously, we need a Worms Armageddon stream. You know, I'll have to do, we actually need to do a Worms Armageddon stream. I wanted to do some sort of like, not like variety streaming, because Magic's kind of our thing, but some sort of like community day variety streaming where like once a month or something or maybe that's too frequently. I don't know if that schedule will work, but every once in a while we like get together and not necessarily play Magic, although we can still do Magic streams, but yeah, like Jackbox or Worms, things like that are just like fun to get together. I mean, we could potentially even do Civ. We could do multiplayer Civ, although I've never really played Civ multiplayer. I've always just played Civ. Yeah, Jackbox is fun. The only thing I'd worry about with Jackbox, I don't know if you've ever run into this with Jackbox. Sometimes if you're playing Jackbox with friends, people get a little like R-rated. That would be my only concern with stuff like Jackbox. Maybe that's just a fear because I usually play it with like my little brothers, and they're young and stupid. But that would be my only concern, that we had a lot of like inappropriate stuff showing up on the stream. That would be my only fear, because with Jackbox, but we could probably find a way to still do it. Yeah, all right, tap land go. That was, these cheaty gates are not good, are they? We cheat with an alchemy gate, we seek a non-land, and it's 2 gates of blazes in a row. Oh, is there a censor option? Okay, maybe that could make it work. Plus, there's like some Jackbox games that are easier to control than others. Like some you're actually just like writing full answers, and others you're not. You're just kind of like picking an option or whatever. So there's got to be a way we could do it. Mr. Second Amendment for the 19th month. Chill with the Croxes. Welcome to the faithful. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. All right. Opponents like kind of killing themselves with their 1 rings ish. Ish. Ooh, Catan. Is there a way to do Catan online? About it. Trivia Murder Party. Ooh. All right, come on, deck. Big draw. Big. I swear I hate Grazer. Wow, we don't even have red mana. Oh. Wow. Oh, all right. Next game. Next game. We didn't even have red mana somehow. How do we not even have red mana? The 1 ring is hilariously broken. It is hilariously broken. 1 ring is so over the top. I think the correct number of Abriel Grazer is 0. I mean, so the thing is, it depends on the meta. If you're playing against a bunch of aggro decks, we've had some really bad hands for a deck that's playing 27 lands. The fact that we've just like struggled so consistently to find lands is kind of sad, actually. All right, pick us apart with your Thoughtseizes and Croxes. So if you're playing in an aggro meta, then I think that Grazer is actually very good. On the other hand, we're not an aggro meta, so I think I'm actually going to cut them after this game. Needle might be worth it. It really only gets the one ring. It's at its best when it hits multiple things, but just getting the one ring might actually be enough. Actually, rather than switching to another deck, we might just take in... They must have a double Thoughtseize. There's no way they're taking Root if they're... Really? Okay, I'm surprised. I am surprised. Oh, I see. They figure they're just gonna get us with the Bowmasters. I kind of want to just take out the Grazers and try again. Hey, see you, motherfucker. Thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Yeah, it would purely be to stop the One Ring. It would be like solely just answer the One Ring. And the One Ring is strong enough that... it's potentially worth it just for that. Opponent continues the picketing of our hand. We draw a very sad Explore. Well, play a Plaza. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Crucius. I don't know about this nerf. I'm not sure this nerf does anything. I mean, it does something. It makes it so your opponent can theoretically kill it with a Bowmaster, but I don't actually think it does that much. Doesn't do nearly as much as I was hoping. I was hoping that it would be a much more impactful nerfing than we actually saw. Gates Ablaze is not a bad draw, though. I guess as I talk about the nerf not doing much, the nerf actually let us kill the Crucius there, so... So I guess on second thought, nerfing a black card so it dies to another black card, kind of suspect. I mean, everyone's playing black decks anyway. It's another one. It's that kind of summer. Dolly, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Well, as good as Escape is, I think Primeval Titan's probably just more important. Invoke Despair. All right, Primeval Titan, yes. We're going to grab a Baldur's Gate, which might eventually be good. We already have a Maze's End. Let's get a cheaty gate to punt with. Wait, actually, green-red. Yeah, we're fine. Couple gates, draw a couple cards. Set up for the future. It is Rakdos Summer. I mean, really, it's shifted more towards mono black in standard, but yeah, for the last year, this has been the best that black decks have been. The best that black decks have been, I think, overall in a long time. I mean, we're actually not in that bad a shape here. Unfortunately, our gate count is not very high, but they have to deal with this Primeval Titan. They have to deal with this Escape. Shieldred. Okay, sure. I mean, that's gonna punish us a bit until we can find a way to kill it, but we will draw. It's a guild gate. Well, let's go to combat, get him with Primeval Titan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 gates. I guess we need to up that number. 5, 6 gates. Draw a couple cards, get a little Shieldred. Ouch. Also, ouch. Okay, those were not the best gates. Opponent takes, wow, just takes the beats. Huh. Well, okay, Guildgate. Ouch, down to 9. Oh, even more Guildgates. Okay. 1, 2. Green mana. Red mana. Escape. We do need to hit a sweeper here, I think. Okay, there's a Gates Ablaze. There's a Gates Ablaze. How many gates do we have now? 6. Wait, how many gates? Can we win in 2 turns? So if we sweep. So tap this for red. Gates Ablaze. Guildgate, draw a card. Grow Spiral. Guildgate, draw a card. Our opponent's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need a ramp spell. We need a ramp spell. We need a ramp spell. We got an Explore. We can get up to 9. Can we do it? Does this do it? Oh, Circuitous Route. Circuitous Route. That does do it. And we can answer the One Ring just to rub it in. Oh my goodness, we're doing it. 1, 2. Oh, opponent thought they could Rakdos us. They thought they could Rakdos us. Make some green mana. Do a little gate ramping. Is it Guildgate? Rakdos Guildgate. Trigger. Draw a card, draw a card. Golgari Guildgate. We're just gonna make sure. We're gonna make sure we have every possible gate on the battlefield. Explore for an Orzhov Guildgate. Draw a card. And then, last but not least, opponent scoops it up. Whew. Pro tip, you can start typing an emo and hit tab to autocomplete. Fewer typos that way. Oh, that's good. I usually copy and paste. But maybe that's not the best way to do it. I usually try to have scooped here copy and pasted, but then what happens is I copy and paste something else in the chat, and for like an hour I'm just copy and pasting like a link to my Spotify, a random YouTube video. I mean, they were dead to the Maze's End. I mean, I like this deck. I feel like Primeval Titan. So if the goal of the deck is to win with Maze's End, Primeval Titan is ridiculous. Like, if you think about it, what do you need to win with? What do you need to win with Maze's End? What do you need to win with Maze's End? You need 10 lands plus the Maze's End. Primeval Titan by itself puts you from 6 to 8, attacks from 8 to 10. It makes it so much easier to actually get the Maze's End win. Like, way easier. I could see bringing the Farewell, though the question is, like, what do we cut for it? A root, maybe? I guess, actually, do we cut Gatebreaker Ram? That's probably fine. Yeah, and it finds Maze's End, which is pretty sweet. I would cut Summit for Karn. Karn is pretty busted, but I don't actually really enjoy playing Karn. Karn is... I'll play it when I have to, but I feel like that card's actually too good. A little boring. Only Inquisition of Kozilek. About it. We got all the pieces to build a straight up like 2013 Jund. I mean, almost all the pieces to build like 2013 Modern Gun on Arena now, which is kind of hilarious. got the Bloodbraid Elf, got the Deathrite Shaman. Bowmasters. Bowmasters is actually maybe an argument against. Well, this is like the Dream Rakdos start. The Dream Rakdos start. Can we draw a sweeper? No. No, we cannot. Well, we will play a tap land and pass the turn and probably die. About it. elaborate on why Karn is so overpowered. So Karn, there's a couple things. So Karn is one of the Spark Planeswalkers that has a static ability that only impacts your opponents. In some matchups, it doesn't matter because it's really a card that, wow, we're so dead here. This is just like the Rakdos. The Rakdos Crucius curve out. Yeah, I mean, this is just a hand that I guess we could have had a sweeper, but otherwise, this is just a hand that we are never beating. There's no way we're ever beating the 1-drop discard, 2-drop, 3-drop, like the best card in the format all the way up the curve. So as far as Karn, let's take the Grazers out of this deck, or at least trim back on the Grazers in the deck. So as far as Karn, I think it's really two things. One is it's a asymmetrical hate card against artifact decks. It doesn't come up that often, but when it does come up, it is pretty game swinging. More importantly, in general, being able to access your sideboard is a very, very strong ability. The ability to, this is a 4-mana card that is a 1-ring, maybe the strongest card they printed in the past year. It's a removal spell when you need it to be. It's a graveyard hate spell if you run into Greasefang. If you need a Pithing Needle for your opponent's thing, Karn is that. If you need a finisher, Karn is that. If you want to win with a combo, Karn is that. Maybe your opponent is missing a land drop, then it's a land destruction spell every turn. So the flexibility of it, I think, is the biggest thing. Yeah, it's anything you need it to be in any given situation, essentially. The flexibility... The flexibility is the biggest calling card, I would say. Yeah, Grazer, you're not doing it, friend. What would we... So if we're cutting Grazers, I could see going up to 28 lands. I don't want to go to 30. I think last time we played Gates, I don't know if I dare add another one of these Gates. What would we add in the place? If we have 2 slots in this deck, chat, do my deck building for me. What do we add here? Can't you get cards out from under Ley Lines and Ossification too? Anything from Exile, yes. So if there's an artifact under Exile, you can get it from there. Seagate Restoration. Maybe removal? Do we want main deck removal? Other than the Gates Ablaze, Bowmasters is annoying. Gone Gate. I don't believe so. These are, well, let me make sure I have the filter set right. I believe these are all the gates. So it's the 5 uncommon ones, all the guild gates, Baldur's Gate, Gateway Plaza, Thran Portal. So yeah, no Gone Gate. Yeah, it's probably Molten. Just like, although Molten Impact doesn't kill Shieldred. It seems like, what are the 2 threats we're most scared of? Bowmaster, Shieldred. So like Impact. I do like Escape. I could see like something like this. Go 3 and 3. Escape is also card draw that gets around. Escape is also a card draw that gets around all the card draw punishment that's floating around at the moment. And then, actually, probably worth it just to play, like, a counter or 2. We don't have any counters in the sideboard. We have, like, infinite sweepers, no counters. Let's try that. Let's try that. I know. It's probably just always correct to add the ring, technically. It's actually started to become a problem for me every time I build a deck. Like, the first thing I want to do is just add 4 copies of the One Ring. Ponza, add 4 copies of 3 copies of the One Ring, because Karn's getting the 4th copy. Is it Titans? 4 copies of the One Ring. It's just so powerful that how do you not run it? Okay, we can try something else. So chat here, let's try something else. We'll probably end up playing Gates at some point in the future for budget Magic, just because there's not that many decks that are kind of competitive and only like 15 rares. So let's save more gating to the future. Abrail Grazer got his chance to shine. The question is, what would you like to see? So here are the options for deck number 2 today. Also, a quick reminder before we jump into our second deck that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. So here's the options. Bant, Panharmonicon-ish, Titan, Soul Herder, Blink, mostly built around Sun Titan, but also has Frost Titan. So that's one option. Option number 2 is it Titans? I will not promise you that we'll win a game with this deck, but this is the Is it Giants ramp into Frost Titan and Inferno Titan deck. That is number 2. Deck number 3, this is another Primeval Titan deck. This is a Tooth and Nail. We talked about this. This was one of our backup decks last stream that we didn't get to. This one I also won't promise that we win any games, but basically try to get to Tooth and Nail and win. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything for now. So yeah, those are the 3 main options. People like the idea of Is it? Oh, what's been working for you budget-wise, Rooker? Assuming you're playing like actual Historic or something and not Artisan. I know in Artisan, if you're specifically playing Artisan, it's a little bit different, but Titan Blank. Boy, it's actually pretty sweet. It's actually pretty sweet split. Blink, blink, blink. I mean, I think this deck is better, but this deck is interesting. All right. I think Blink is winning. We have a new donation from. I mean, maybe it's just correct to play no Panharmonicons and actual Elishnorn. That might be better. We have a new donation from Sherber MTG, CBR MTG. Hey Seth, I never catch you, but I love watching from Australia. We have a big Australian Highlander event tomorrow. Could you please bless my deck? Ooh, I would love to. Let me see. We'll say a little blessing. What is Australian Highlander? Wait, Australian Highlander. What is Australian Highlander? I honestly don't think I've ever heard of this format before. The deck looks sweet. I think I give you my blessing, my child. You are guaranteed to be stuck on 2 lands not many times. Seriously though, what is Australian Highlander? Is that an actual format? Oh, it's a different. So it's the same kind of core format. It's the same kind of core format, but different point system. I see. All right, this deck. I mean, this is a very me kind of deck. It probably should have an Elishnorn, shouldn't it? That is actionable feedback. You should always have an Elishnorn. All right, 81 card special. So this is just my kind of deck. It is a pile of value cards. What's it trying to do? It's mostly just trying to draw cards and blink things. Like in the early game, we're just kind of like, draw a card, add a body to the battlefield. Eventually, hopefully, we maybe do a little Delighted Halfling ramping or Gilded Gears ramping to get to a Sun Titan, to get back a Glasspool Mimic and copy a Sun Titan and get back a Skyclave and exile your thing. It's just like the dirtiest, valueiest pile of stuff. Probably the biggest payoff is actually Lazelle's Acrobatics. We do have a Panharmonicon. It's hiding under the One Ring, but we do have one actual Panharmonicon. One of my favorite cards in this deck is Lazelle's Acrobatics. Oh boy, if you hero with Lazelle's Acrobatics and double trigger all your ETBs, it is kind of ridiculous. Gates matchup looks horrible. Yeah, we're never beating Gates. No. So many one-ofs. What is this commander? I mean, we're a Yarion deck. We got a lot of slots. We probably will never see most of those one-ofs. All right, here we go. Is anyone from the Goldfish crew going to be in Barcelona? Actually, a big chunk of the Goldfish crew. So, Tomer and Phil are in Europe, so they will both be there. And then Krim is actually going to be there as well. He's making the very, very long trek from California. There's Knight of Autumn in the sideboard. I had a Primeval Titan at one point, but I cut it. I figured we don't really care about the ramping too much. Like, it's fine, but we're not doing anything specific with it. And we're already playing Primeval Titan in the other deck, so it's not like we really need to show it off. So I think the white and blue Titans are actually more exciting in this deck. Yeah, Krim, I don't know how he does it. Are you all travelers, chat? I hate traveling. Like, seriously. I cannot stand traveling. I don't know how Krim does it. Like, I don't know. It always amazes me. I guess it's just like different personalities and so forth, but it always amazes me to see someone like Krim or Tomer that's just like going from, you know, state to state, country to country, and they're enjoying it their whole time. They're loving it. When I see people that are living that lifestyle, I'm like, I just couldn't do it. I would be miserable. But they absolutely enjoy it. Krim's having like a great time, just like going here, going there. I would be absolutely miserable. I believe I think we're all doing Vegas. Last I heard, we're all doing Vegas. I haven't actually. Well, I guess we got enough lands that we are going to get to Sun Titan eventually. So, sure. We're not doing anything in the near future, so might as well set up for a Sun Titaning in the future. About it. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to blink with our Soul Herder, which is kind of awkward. So Ephemerit's on the top of our deck. Yeah, let's just Spara's headquarters go. Probably just run out Sam and start trying to be tempted by the ring, I guess. About it. Yeah, I mean, part of it is traveling from where I live sucks. It's always like multiple flights and transfers, and plus these days there's so many delays. It's just like a hassle. And part of it is traveling is not for big and tall people. Like, planes are not built for me. I'm like tall and big, and it's never comfortable. So that's probably part of it too. Regarding Commander Master, say with me, chat, I will not keep chasing the next MTG thing. You will thank me later. I mean, that is good advice. That is good advice, I will say. Soul Herder, with sadly nothing to blink at the moment. And pass the turn. We do have an Ephemerate to protect it. Most importantly, jeez Louise. Do we protect it? All right. I mean, we gotta get to the Sun Titan before we die. Which we haven't really been able to stick any ramp. Our opponent's killing it all. Kind of just played 4 removal spells, really. Well, play the tap land. Skyclave Apparition. Bowmaster down. Come on. This Sun Titan would be so good if we can get to it. About it. Looking at our Skyclave. Looking at our Skyclave. Even more removal. Goes to combat. Attacks with both. Okay. Yes, we will kill your Bowmasters. They must have Fatal Push in hand. Opponent hits us to 10. Fatal Push. Well, let's blank it. Alright, deck. Untap land. Untap land. Untap land would be spectacular. Opponent, land. Decline. Oh, okay. Innkeeper. So not the untap land, but this does work for next turn. Because next turn, remember, we have Soul Herder in the graveyard. So we can Sun Titan, get back the Soul Herder, blink the Sun Titan, get back the Charming Prince, blink the Sun Titan, get back the Delighted Halfling. Opponent. Wow, that's a Sanctuary Warden. Okay, that's kind of awkward. Goes attacking. So we'll kill the Orc. We'll drop to 8. Kill the Orc, drop to 8. Well, play the Sun Titan. Gain a life. Get back the Soul Herder. No attacks. Blink the Sun Titan. Get back the Charming Prince. Blink the Sun Titan. Pass the turn. Hey, what's up, Frat Bro? How are you? Good to see ya. Thanks for swinging in, opponent. Gonna Sanctuary Warden us. Sure. Draws a card. I mean, we also have the Yarion in hand, too. We dropped to 7 for the moment. Even more Sanctuary Wardens. That's a lot of Sanctuary Wardens. Okay, here comes Sun Titan. Gets back the Delighted Halfling. We gain a life. Another Soul Herder. How do we beat these Delighted Halflings, though? That's the real issue. That's the real issue. Or how do we beat these Sanctuary Wardens? So play a Gilded Goose. Honk Kong, gain a life. Play a Yarion. Blink a bunch. Pass the turn. Everything comes back. Now what? The foods are actually helpful. I mean, we're going to gain a bunch of life, right? Do we blink the Yarion? Is that too risky? That's what we would like to do. Although I guess we can reset the Yarion in the future. Maybe we just blink the Sun Titan. Yeah, let's just blink the Sun Titan. Get back a Samwise. Gain some life. Gilded Goose Ring Bearer. Blink. One. Just the Sam? Yeah, let's just blink the Sam. I mean, we're kind of going off. I don't know if we're gonna win, but the legendary Gilded Goose might save us, opponent. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh god! GG! Oh yeah, there's no. That we'd never beat that card ever. We don't even have a card in our deck that can beat that card. In what world? In what world do you load up? Do you load up Bant Titan Blank and run into someone playing Elish Norn? How does that happen? How is that even possible? Okay. So opponent. Wow, that is. We're going off too. That is, look at our deck. Our deck literally is never going to beat an Elish Norn, not in a million billion years. Is that a standard Orza mid-range but with Bowmasters? I mean, we didn't really see much except for our opponent drawing all the Bowmasters. So it did look a little standardy. Elish Norn is just straight up unbeatable. We are never, ever beating Elish Norn in a million years. Well, I guess Spirited Companion just dies to Bowmasters. Bowmasters is everywhere. It is everywhere. Well, blinking everything with Acrobatics doesn't do anything if there's an Elish Norn out. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, Elish Norn seems like 0% playing Historic. This is the first time I've run into an opponent playing Elish Norn in like months. And it happens to be the first game we're playing. We're playing a Blink deck about ETB triggers. Settle the Wreckage for Mom. Could be worth it. Any way to get off the battlefield is good. Mom isn't really much of an attacker though. In the main, all of all of our removal in the main decks, like Adaptive Detention, Skyclave Apparition. So we have plenty of removal. It's just ETB based. We have 2 Fragment Realities now. We have 2 Fragment Realities. We are on the play. Oh, that value loop was... No lands. That value loop was sweet, too. Well, alright. Go, Delated Halflings. I don't even know if the Delated Halflings are very good here. They can't cast most of our deck. Our opponent's just playing every removal spell. I guess they're just trying to be like Orzhov Control, essentially. Well, alright. Delighted Halfling. Abundant. Planes. Passes. Huh. So, what removal spell does our opponent have now? Let's play a Charming Prince. Scry. Scry for an answer to Elish Norn. Yeah, Strike Proctor is... At least you can get around it. It's annoying. It's annoying, but it's not just game over the way Elish Norn is. Elish Norn is just literally... Like, you don't get to do anything forever. Let's pull Mimic. Innkeeper. Do we want to tap land? Yeah, I guess that's fine. Play the tap land. Pass the turn. No attacks because of Bowmasters. Bowmasters is kind of a removal spell. Bob Odenkirk. On strike right now with a sign today, I will only memorize lines written by a human, as now my infinite monkey typewriter business is out of commission. Yeah, what is the... So I don't really keep up on Hollywood. Not really exactly my scene. What is... So what is the TLDR of the writer's strike or whatever? Now the actor's strike. What's the short version of that? About it. I do like Bob Odenkirk. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. What was what was his original show? Shieldred. Well, Skyclave can answer that maybe. Well, I guess it answers it, but painfully. Alright, so Prosperous Innkeeper, Skyclave Apparition. Gain a life, snipe the Shieldred. Go attacking. Hit you down to 15. Ah, Mr. Show! Yes, right, of course. They're not paid enough. A is trying to... Alright, there's a Bowmasters. Snipes the Innkeeper. And... Fatal pushes our Delighted Halfling. Well, okay. In that case, let's Soul Herder, play a tap land. No attacks. Blink the Skyclave. This does give our opponent a 4/4. But we get rid of the Bowmasters. Pass the turn. Fear of AA. Writers not getting paid for making bad shows. Something like that. Ooh, that's a harsh take. Also, ChatGPT generating all kind of... Is that actually, like... Is that an actual thing that's happening? Like, if you turn on a popular show or a show on Netflix or something, is like ChatGPT actually to the point where it can actually write a reasonable television show? Is that actually a possibility? I didn't actually realize after my experience of trying to have it build me a commander deck and it not actually doing a ton, I didn't actually consider that it could be to the point where it could be actually writing a reasonable script. I could see it writing the article from Blake today about the counter spell. That seems realistic. I could totally picture that. That might have been written by ChatGPT. But I guess it's something they want to prepare for the future because it will theoretically probably get there. Alright, I literally have no idea what our opponent's deck is trying to do here, but I think our best plan is Charming Prince, Blanket, Exile Wall of Blossoms. Gotta keep the value train running. Opponent farewells away the board for some reason. I guess our opponent's thinking they're a control deck. Well, okay. Blink, and then blink the Wall of Blossoms for an Innkeeper, and draw land. And, well, Innkeeper. Breeding Pool untapped. Yarion. Blink, blink, keep it going. I wonder, do you think that's a thing that's gonna like happen in our lifetimes? Like, will AI actually get to the point where it can write a show as well as a human being? I don't know. Maybe I'm more skeptical of it than I should. Like, I don't know. Technology can do some ridiculous things, so I guess I'm not a disbeliever, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess I'm just used to AI being so not human and realistic that it's hard for me to picture it actually being able to write in like creative things in a way that could write a blockbuster movie in the way a person could. Like, how do you get the creativity? I guess that's the part that I'm like, as far as mimicking the way that we talk, that makes sense to me. Like, but how do you like, how do you have the AI become creative? Like, how does the AI come up with the idea to write, you know, whatever? Game of Thrones, that's a popular example. Like, how do you get the AI to that point, or could it even get to that point where it actually can do that? That's the part I'm not sure about. An X-Men movie, that might be easy. I mean, I think I could probably write a popular X-Men movie before next Tuesday's stream. They're all kind of the same, right? Like, superhero does a thing, bad guy tries to, you know, be a bad guy, stop the superhero wins, rinse and repeat, change the name, on to the next one. We're just gonna pass. I'm very afraid of running the Soul Herder into a Bowmaster. Although the longer we wait, the more time we give our opponent to draw Farewells, which is also unfortunate. What a awkwardly bad matchup. Exile Rast to make our Sun Titan worse. Elish Norn to make our deck worse. Just what a weird thing to run into someone playing. Opponent passing. Well, alright, go to combat. Here we come. Now we actually want our stuff to die because we can just Sun Titan it back. So we're swinging with the crew. All right, opponent, show us your Bowmaster. We knew it. We knew there was a Bowmaster. Gonna kill our Innkeeper, but there's bad news, opponent. Which is, so would like an AI blockbuster just be like two classic movies mixed together? They're just like, take a line from Godfather, take a line from a James Bond movie, here's a line from the Titanic. just kind of mix them all together and off to the races. Just in case they're doing shenanigans, I guess we should also Skyclave the Bowmaster. I mean, I feel like we're in good shape, right? Sun Titan's doing work. We'll blank the Wall of Blossoms to draw a card. Our Soul Herder's getting big. Opponent only has a 1/1. We get a bunch of triggers. We pass the turn. All right, opponent. All right, opponent. Are we done? Battle at Bywater to kill our Sun Titan and our Soul Herder. Well, I have bad news, opponent. We have plenty where that came from. We never run out of Sun Titans. That's the whole point of our deck. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. I'll play the land, end of turn. Blink the Sun Titan. Get back the Innkeeper. Our stuff never dies forever. The difference between creativity and madness is not having enough data and validation. Oh, gee, what is happening? I swear I'm becoming a shuffler truther just based on playing Historic recently. It's winning me. I still, obviously I don't believe it, but I could see why you see those posts on the Arena subreddit that are like, something's got to be wrong with the shuffler. Every time I build a new deck, it throws me into the matchup. I can't possibly win. I don't understand it. I still don't believe it, but I could see how I could see where someone's coming from, which is like how this matchup is like cards that literally no one ever plays in this format are like, but randomly host our deck are just all over in our opponent's deck for some reason. So I could see how people could end up feeling that way, even if I don't agree. Well, all right, we will pass the turn. Opponent, yeah, like who just plays every random exile-based Wrath? Who? No one ever, not ever once. Oh God, okay, finally, One Ring. I swear, opponent, if you have Bowmasters number 3, I'm not gonna be pleased. All right, there's a One Ring. Draw with the One Ring. Well, okay, Wall of Blossoms. Draw with Wall of Blossoms. Yeah, opponent's prepared. Opponent knew. They saw the Titans being added in the anthology, and they were like, I am not going to lose to a Titan deck. Not happening. Not on my watch. All right. Run everything out. Run everything out. I think we actually play the land, too. But I really hope we don't get farewelled. Please not a farewell. At this point, Sunfall number 2, whatever. Like, if they wrath our creatures again, I don't really care now that we have the One Ring. On the other hand, if it's Farewell number 2, to get our One Ring too, I'm going to be very sad. Opponent cycles. Plays a land. Whoa! Wait, are you stream sniping, Gricken? Are you watching our opponent's side? Are they also streaming? How did you know? Literally no one plays Sunfall in this format either. You were right somehow. I don't know how that's possible. Wait, now what are we gonna draw? Dark End? Are we drawing all lands? Is that how this goes? Yes. Okay. So we draw all lands. Play the Dreamroot Cascade. Pass the turn. Opponent has a 6/6, and Hive of the Eye draws their own One Ring. Oh my goodness. Okay. Opponent draws with the one ring. Gets in for 6. You ran so much stuff out. Yeah, but our opponent's playing a not realistic amount of Wraths. Like, how many? Okay, that's 4 lands in a row. And not very good. Not very good at all. Okay, we'll play a Charming Prince. Those were not good draws. Those were not good draw. Yeah, but how many more can they possibly have? Like, they've already cast a million of them. How many more could they possibly have in their deck? I'll play One Ring number 2. Keep the new One Ring. Opponent, you just drew a One Ring. I don't want to hear it. And draws a go for the throat. And activates Mirrex. Sure. Well, we will Wall of Blossoms, draw a card. Into Glasspool Mimic, Wall of Blossoms, draw a card. Into Skyclave Apparition. One of the upsides of Skyclave is it does just hard snipe the One Ring. So we snipe the One Ring. Opponent Elish Norn. Show us Elish Norn. Can we get an Elish Norn? Elish Norn off the top. Elish Norn to ruin our fun. Opponent fires up high for the Eye Tyrant. Land and attacks. Wow, just the Hive of the Eye Tyrant? Okay, why not the 6/6? Alright, well, we're going to do some blocking of this Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Block and block. Ronald Grinder! What a long game this has been. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for... Oh, I guess that makes sense. We are protected, you're right. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One ring. Do your thing. Not exactly. Well, Cycle Sparus headquarters? We need another Titan. We need another Titan. Or I guess another One Ring. Well, okay, Soul Herder. And Gilded Goose, Hong Kong. Opponent. We're gonna end up playing through like our whole deck. What an interesting matchup. Apparently these two decks are pretty evenly matched because this has been a long, grindy game of Magic. Ooh, Panharmonicon. Okay, as long as I don't draw Elish Norn, we have found our trump card. We have found our trump card. Eternal Wanderer. Okay, that's less than exciting. Opponent, Eternal Wanderer.
You live because I allow it.
Wraths our board. Again. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Goes to combat. Well. Oh, that was brutal. Have you tried resetting the One Ring with Release to the Wind or Baral's Expertise? I haven't. I think that's definitely a thing you can do. Like it's a thing that would work, I think. But we just haven't really played a deck that was looking to do that. Like One Ring just shows up in a lot of decks because it's busted. So like this deck is not a One Ring deck, but we're a Magic deck, and if you're playing Magic and you're not super aggro, the One Ring is just like so incredibly strong that I think you should just play it. Yeah, I mean, our opponent is a big believer in playing every Wrath. We had many Titans at various points in this game, but our opponent has had even more Sunfalls and Farewells and Battle of Baywaters and every Wrath imaginable. All right, down to 12. There's an Ephemerate. Can we find something to go with it? Draw 3. What happens? I have a question, chat. Do you know the answer to this? If we Panharmonicon One Ring, do we get protection from 2 turns? Does that actually work? Or do we just get protection until our next turn twice? When it enters a battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. Yeah, I figured. That seemed too good to be true. It does work with Stonehorn Dignitary, right? The Wanderer can blink the ring. And apparently we can't beat the Wanderer. I'll play a land. Panharmonicon. I don't even really know if I want a One Ring. Can we just survive this turn without it? I really would like to draw 4. I think we're going to be greedy. All right, pass the turn. I really want this draw 4 before we cash in the One Ring. It worked. I worked in my Valky deck. Ooh, let me see the Tony back. Opponent gonna Samurai.
I brought backup.
And looking at our One Ring, goes to combat. Yeah, we're not protected. Goes attacking. Well, we will block and block. We have so much mana. I don't think the mana dorks are like super essential at this point. So stuff dies. We take 0. Well, crack of food. Gain some life. Crack of food, gain some life. All right, we're gonna draw something. We're drawing 4 cards with the One Ring. We gotta find something going 4 cards deep. Okay, untap, and we have the Tangle Floral Hedron. All right, 1 ring. Be good, be good. Wow, we actually kind of didn't find anything, did we? Well, Gilded Goose, Honk Honk, Soul Herder, Florahedron, Glasspool Mimic, the Gilded Goose, Honk Honk, and yeah, pass the turn. I really want to draw 5. We must draw 5 cards before we cash in the One Ring. We're gonna eat so much food that we can keep this One Ring going forever. That's our new plan. We're just gonna hobbit it. We're just gonna keep eating food until we draw our deck and mill. Opponent going to blink our ring like a jerk. Okay. Goes to combat. Attacks. And makes a 1/1. Well, block the 6/6. Take 4. Yeah, we're trying. We were trying to get the gluttonous win. We could really use a big threat, though. If we could ever find, like, another... We only have 26 cards in our deck. Sooner or later. Well, apparently not sooner. More the later end of things, I guess. Hallowed Fountain tapped. And... I guess we just pass the turn? Blink a Gilded Goose? Get back our One Ring? Blink the goose, make some food. Oh, there's not even a goose to copy. That was a bit of a mistake. Draw with the One Ring. Pass the turn. The WinCon Sun Titan, we just keep we would have won many times over if our opponent wasn't playing every Wrath in existence. So I don't think that the issue is a lack of win cons. I think the issue is our opponent is just like it's just like a really incredibly, yeah, we're playing all 4 Sun Titans and a Frost Titan. So we have many Titans left. Opponent's gonna make a Samurai.
Keep your eyes sharp.
Gonna make a Mirrex. We only have 24 cards in our deck, so the concentration of Titans in our deck is actually surprisingly high at the moment. There are many Titans to be drawn still. All right, down to 18. Looks like we're gonna get some One Ring draws. Down to 12, sort of. Well, crack some food, do a little eating. Yeah, the One Ring only gives us protection if it was cast. So being blinked with Eternal Wander doesn't actually give us protection. Thankfully, we can just eat food for days. We have so much mana. All right, this turn things might happen. Can things happen? Plains, that's not great. Tap it. Lazelle's Acrobatics. Well, okay, Innkeeper makes some treasures. Play a land. Yeah, Skyclave says non-token, so that doesn't really work. We're running out of food, which is awkward. Now, Glasspool. Copy the Innkeeper. And, yeah, pass the turn. Blanket Innkeeper. We have so many treasures now. Grow our dorks, pass the turn, put it in depths. Witch King of Angmar. I don't even know what that does. Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to each opponent sacks a creature, then deals combat damage to this turn. Okay, sure, whatever. Opponent. Attacks, attacks, attacks. That's a lot of damage. It's adding up. It is adding up. 6. Oh boy. All right, block with an innkeeper. Take our beads. I mean, we're at 30. We got a 1 ring. There's 21 cards in our deck. We're drawing 3 extra cards this turn. It's gotta happen. It's gotta. I don't really want to spend this ephemerate yet. We could. Yeah, we're gonna let it die. Okay. Yeah, opponent probably is holding 3 wraths. Although we found Lazelle's Acrobatics, which is actually our answer to a wrath. All right, we feel the burden of the ring. We draw land. We draw with the ring. Oh, finally a Sun Titan. Okay, so let's do things. This is going to be a turn. Sun Titan. This is going to be a really, really nice turn. So Sun Titan comes into play. We're going to get back a Glasspool Mimic. And we're going to get back a Gilded Goose. Yeah, this is gonna be sweet. This is what we've been trying to set up. The Sun Titan Glasspool Mimic loop. We gain a ton of life. We copy the Sun Titan number 2. I think that one will trigger. That'll get back a Glasspool Mimic. That'll get back a Charming. Actually, that'll get back a Soul Herder. Yes, please. We'll get back the Glasspool. That'll copy a Sun Titan. Sun Titan will trigger. That'll get back a Wall of Blossoms. And that'll get back a Charming Prince. Those will double trigger. Charming Prince will exile a real Sun Titan. Charming Prince will exile a Prosperous Innkeeper. Blinkum Blinkum. Sun Titan Tron. And opponent scoops it up. They scooped it up. At that point, though, so we had Lazelle's Acrobatics. Lazelle's Acrobatics is exile all non-token creatures you control, and then either return them to the battlefield on the next end step, or blink them once and then return them on the next end step. I can't believe we got there. That was a grindy, slow slog. Oh, maybe we want another Acrobatics. Now we see our opponents playing like every wrath possible, like literally every wrath possible. Question, chat. We talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the stream. I'm curious. Let's say you were let's say you're getting one of the Commander Masters precons. Which one? Which one are you going for? That was a brutal, grindy game. So here's your options. Eldrazi Unbound, the Eldrazi deck. Abzan Enchantments, Enduring Enchantments. Planeswalker Party, the Commodore Gruff deck. Or Sliver Swarm. So assume that all these decks are free. Let's say I'm gonna give you one of them, because I know that the issue is that the price is too high. But let's say price wasn't a concern. I'm just curious what your favorite one is. Like, if price was not a concern at all the decks were free, you just get to choose one. Which one would you choose? I'm curious what people's favorite is out of the bunch, basically. Yeah, I know. I mean, that is a legit problem. The price issue is a legit issue. It is. Eldrazi? I think Eldrazi is the most interesting. I think Eldrazi is interesting just because we don't normally get colorless precons. So I think that makes it appealing to me. Like, if I was going to... Oh, yeah, actually, we probably do want Veto, don't we? If I was going to get one, I would probably... Okay, Veto's in. If I was going to get one, I would probably go for the Eldrazi one. Eldrazi have the perfect mana base. Actually, they have the They have the most valuable mana base. somehow there's a 5 color deck, the 5 color sliver deck. And somehow the colorless deck actually, that's where the value is. Wizards listened. They listened. They finally are putting valuable lands in commander precons. They did it. They fixed it. Problem solved. Thanks to Waze. Waze is actually like a oddly expensive basic land. Don't Thussies our Tingle Floral Heater an opponent. Actually, they'll take the One Ring, I'm sure, or Soul Herder. They're not going to take Floral Heater about it. Tags the One Ring. Boo and Hiss. All right. Tap land. Go. About it. Can you post the deck list link, please? Sure. Well, get down the Guild of Goose, Hong Kong. Play the tap land. You can find them all on mtggoldfish.com. Also on the Commander YouTube. Tomer's doing videos that are going over all the decks, upgrading them and so forth. He did spoiler videos this week too, but he's also doing upgrade videos. So keep an eye out for that on the Commander YouTube. And I think we'll do a Wall of Blossoms is fine-ish. Yeah, we'll keep it. And I think we'll do a podcast. I think we'll do a podcast on it as well, probably. Like a tier list thing for Commander Clash podcast. Well, pass the turn. Opponent. Plains and has a One Ring. Well, I mean, we can answer it with Skyclave, and we're going to have to, unfortunately. This does kind of set us up to get Wrathed, which is awkward, but I'll get rid of the One Ring. Play the land, Wall of Blossoms, draw a card. We will just keep extending into this hypothetical Wrath. Boom. Charming Prince you for 0. I have a Boros deck that's got a Warp mana base to play new Kozilek and a couple of Eldrazi. Really intrigued by Rise of the Eldrazi. Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see how those Eldrazi cards end up shaking out in practice. I'm not actually sure what to... I'm not sure what to expect. If they Bowmasters kill Skyclave, I think it's okay. Because this is going to make a future Wrath worse. I mean, they get a 4/4 out of it. But this just makes a future Wrath way worse. Can we... Yeah, let's just play the land and pass. The Bowmasters is still obnoxious because we do want to draw cards. Opponent. Combat. Hits us for 4. Sure. No blocks. Down to 16. Which Wrath are we casting, opponent? Opponent goes with Sunfall. Alright. Well, makes a 5/5. How do we beat a 5/5? Can we beat a... Oh, we need value-y stuff. So many sweepers! Ugh. Selka, welcome to the Fishbowl. Bowmasters everywhere. They are, but we've also just been playing the same person for like 45 minutes. It's really... This is actually just the first match we've played with the deck, and it refuses to end. It's the longest match of all time. Selka, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Really disappointed to be paying premium prices for non-premium set in Commander Masters Pre-God. I really don't understand what the... Ephemerate cannot kill tokens. It only... It could kill one of our tokens, but it only targets our stuff. Are we ephemerating this? It feels so bad, but it might be necessary. Alright, well, we're gonna let it go. We gotta get more value than that. We need a Sun Titan. We need a Sun Titan, and we need the Sun Titan in the relatively near future. Preferably right now. Opponent hits us for 5. Opponent has been really good drawing Bowmasters. They've drawn a lot of them. Alright. Well, another Ephemerate. Not great. We will run out our Yarion for no value. We will blink our Yarion for no value. And pass the turn. Opponent. Looking at our Yarion. Scoured Barrens. Sun Titan. Sun Titan. We need a Sun Titan. Block and block. Come on. Tell me you don't have another removal spell. Okay. Well, we managed to get rid of it for now. Big draw, big draw, big draw. Okay, Sun Titan, that counts. Sun Titan. Get back Skyclave. Get rid of the Bowmasters. Unfortunately, we don't have mana up for Wrath Protection. Oh, they have it. They have another... Oh, the never-ending Wraths. The never-ending Wraths of our dear, dear opponent. This is weird, but I think we blink Skyclave. We want to free the Bowmaster token because our opponent is definitely wrathing here. So free the Bowmaster token, so at least they don't end up with a 2-2. Yeah, get in there, opponent. We might forget to block. We might forget about it. Wow, that is unfortunate. Our Wrath answer, a turn too late. Witch King of Angmar. Well, I mean, I guess that's probably gonna win it for our opponent. We draw land. Interesting to wonder if the pricing strategy is to prevent people from opening packs, to keep them from opening Interesting to wonder if the pricing strategy is to prevent people from opening packs to help keep single prices high. I mean, I think Wizards... That would be kind of backwards, I think, because Wizards makes money off of selling booster packs, so... Boy. Well, fair enough. The idea that our opponent's deck should not work in practice. I mean, I think they just high rolled into, like, the absolute, just, like, perfect matchup. So I think our opponent's deck is an actual thing against the meta, is probably not gonna have a very great win percentage. But when you're playing against a deck whose goal is to, like, recur things with Primeval Titan, and your deck is playing Elishnorn in a bunch of exile-based wraths, pretty good matchup for you there. Yeah, that was something. Well, I mean, when sometimes when stuff like that happens, I come away from it feeling like, all right, well, at least we gave someone who's playing a deck that I can't imagine wins very often they had a good time. Like, sure, we didn't win, but at least our opponent, who is, you know, doing something really janky, they got a chance. Like, winning with an against odds deck feels good. It's always fun when we win with an against odds deck, but it's nice when other people win with an against odds deck too. So, opponent got to, exactly, they got to match the happy face button. Unfortunately, now we're up against Mono Green Devotion, and this is the deck that makes me think Karn should be good old Bannerinoed. Wall of Blossoms. I don't know if we have a super, like, realistic plan for beating what our opponent's doing. Like, we will blink 8 Gilded Goose. Go. Opponent. So yeah, I don't think our Wizards prices stuff to try to get people to not open them, because selling packs is how they make their money. But I do think they price things in a way where they kind of like going to a casino where they say the house always wins. I think that's the pricing. Like, so with us at, like, Commander Masters, you have these competing interests. So Wizards has an interest in keeping card prices high, because high card prices lets them sell secret layers and master sets. So part of their goal is to keep the price of many cards high. Some cards they want to get cheaper for other reasons, but in general, expensive cards are a positive for Wizards because expensive cards lets them sell products. So I think that you have these competing interests where Wizards prices sets like Commander Masters higher than most sets because the high pack price will price some people out of... Wow, opponent did nothing. The high pack price will price some people out of buying booster packs. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The high pack price will price some people out of buying booster packs, and that's okay because that's less cards in supply to keep prices high. And if you do buy a booster pack, well, then you're paying $50 for a collector booster or whatever. So Wizards is adding a lot to their bottom line. So even if card prices drop, well, they ended up coming out ahead because I got to sell booster packs for $60 or whatever. So yeah, that was a weird one because that wasn't the full timeout. Like our opponent ended up, it felt like scooping as soon as we played the One Ring. They like didn't do anything during their turn, but then they just straight up scooped. Yeah, who knows? Well, we'll bring in some removal. How do we stop? So the vetoes seem helpful. At least they can stop the planeswalkers. If we can stop the planeswalkers, maybe we can just outvalue them. Like Skyclave's pretty good against them. Tempted to take out One Rings just because One Ring does get shut down by Karn, which is tough. Yeah, maybe Elite Spellbinder is not even worth it. It is a flyer, so it's good at pressuring planeswalkers. That's something. Or maybe we just cut one of everything. I will say, do you remember, how many of you were playing Standard when, remember Solar Flare? I kind of want to recreate that. Solar Flare was like a Sun Titan Reanimator deck. That was like kind of a mid-rangey Sun Titan deck, but you also had Unburial Rights for reanimation and like Liliana that you could get in the graveyard. And it was like, it would just have a big turn where it was Sun Titan reanimating Phantasmal Image a bunch of times. And that was kind of the big payoff. I wonder if we could rebuild Solar Flare. The 20, there was an older version of Solar Flare as well. Yeah, that was like the revival of Solar Flare. But I wonder if we could rebuild that. Our opponent's back to playing. Delighted Aveling. Yeah. Commander Master is a similar place to 2x2, just with new products that are higher cost than people are used to. Drafting collectors are very similar. Yeah, I mean, people were not thrilled about the price of 2x2 either, though. I remember that being like a really big thing. Like that was a really big conversation when Double Masters came out a year ago. Like, if you go back and you'll see the same conversation happening about how it's just way too much money. It doesn't, the amount of value doesn't really matter because it's just too expensive in an absolute sense. It's really the same conversation. So I've been playing Solar Flare in Commander with Rafine. Rafine seems like a great Solar Flare commander. Well, this is gonna be a problem because, hey Cease, come here, Cease. Cece, come here. Come here. Here, Cease. Come here. Come here, Cease. You gotta see people. Here. Say hi to people. People like you. Better be sleeping, but you can say hi. Can you say hi to people? Can you say hi? Everyone loves you, Cease. Look. Look, people love you. Say hi. There you go. There you go. She won't stay for long. She doesn't. She likes being petted in She likes being petted, but she only stay for about like 30 seconds and then she's just done with people. Yeah, this is going less well. Our opponent being the one with the One Ring is not great for us. Not great. I don't know if this actually is helpful, but we are gonna kill this old growth troll, though. It just gives our opponent a very good target for Kiora. Do you feel yourself becoming a cat person? I don't think so. I still like, so I don't mind having Cease around, and I do like her, but I still don't have the same kind of connection that I have with Bear with Cease. Like, Cece, I like having her around. She's, you know, nice to pet or whatever, but I don't know. I think I'm still definitely more of a dog person when it comes down to it. Yeah, I will say for Cece, I was expecting, I think I've told this story before, how she like snuck in through the dog door and was living in a hole in the couch for like a few days before I realized that she was even there. But I was expecting, when I had to get her out of the couch because she was going to the bathroom everywhere and it was starting to stink, I was expecting her to be ferocious and like attacking and scratching and just being really mean. But she was, from day one, just like the nicest cat with people. Like, she just wants you to pet her and she just wants you to hold her. So it doesn't help that my cat is basically my only family, though. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it was with Bear. The Bear was like my main. I mean, I have family, but no one that lives with me. Like, so Bear was my buddy, and then Cece. The one thing about Cece that I haven't got used to still is she loves to wake me up in the middle of the night. She does it like every single night at like 1 a.m. Here comes Cease for no reason. So here's what happens. So there's this weird jealousy thing now where Bear and Cece get along great, but Bear really likes his food, and he thinks that all the food in our house is his food. Cece, on the other hand, she really likes her wet cat food, which I give her wet cat food once a day. She knows once a day. She always has her dry cat food if she needs it, but once a day she gets her wet cat food. So, but Bear doesn't like Cece getting the wet cat food because he thinks it should be his food. So we've had this thing the last few nights where like Cece comes in at like 1 a.m. and she just meows and like scratches me and meows until I wake up because she wants me to give her food. So I eventually I'm like, all right, whatever, Cease, I'll do it. I get up, I go, I get her food, I put it out there, I put it up on the table so Bear can't get to it as easily. So I put it out on the table, get her food, and then she'll eat it for like 10 minutes, and then Bear will realize what's going on. She'll notice that something's up. Where's Cece? What's this, people moving around in the middle of the night? He'll realize that I give her food, and then Bear will wake up at like 1:30 in the morning, and he'll go out and climb his big body up on the table, scarf up all of her food in like 2 bites, and then go back in and go back to sleep. And then Cece will come back in and she'll be mad because Bear just went and ate all of her food, and she hadn't finished it yet. So we have this like weird 1 a.m. food drama most nights now that I haven't figured out how to solve. I think I gotta figure out a way. Hey, thank you, Brox. I gotta figure out a way to have her food somewhere where Bear can't get to it. I think that's gotta be the solution to this food drama. I just gotta figure out a way to get the food somewhere where only Cece can get to it. It is. Itchy and Scratchy would have been good names for them, actually. They basically are Itchy and Scratchy. So yeah, that's my drama. How's everyone else tonight? Thankfully, I'm usually pretty good about going back to sleep, so it's fine. Like, it works out. Okay. We're gonna try this. Can we beat Mono Green Devotion? Can we beat Mono Green Devotion? Besage you. And how's your cat, Mega Magikarp? Yeah, under the couch. Under the couch might be the place for it. They used to be her home, so maybe she would be comfortable there. Wall of Blossoms. Can we draw some white mana? No. Well, tap land. Go. I mean, I guess we have white mana for Legends. We'd like white mana for Dovin's Veto. Pelucranos. Even more green mana? Alright. Well, Yarion. Yeah, Mono Green's tough. Mono Green is tough. He's a fluffy little jerk, so he's perfectly fine and normal. I'm starting to realize that about cats. That's just her personality. I'm getting used to the cat personality. It's just so different than dogs. Because Bear is so much just like, he wants you to like him. He loves you as your companion. Like, that's like his personality. He's like he always likes to go with me places. The other day I had to go someplace for like an hour. So I had taken him out for a walk. I dropped him back up to the house and put him in. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. Like, don't worry about it. And I went out for an hour, came back, and he was standing in like the exact same spot right inside the door, just looking at the door. I'm pretty sure he just stood there and like looked at the door for the entire hour, waiting for me to come back in. So that's kind of Bear's personality. CSC's personality is the like, I'll meow at you and scratch you until you get me my food, because I'm the actual ruler of this place. Like, I'm the one in charge here. Jack Frost Knight, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Halfling might not be worth it in this deck. We are about to die to Nykthos. Halfling's, oh boy. Halfling's funny. Like, it's funny that it doesn't, yeah, we're so dead. The fact that it only makes colored mana for legends actually really ends up being a problem in this deck. To the point where I might just cut it. Like, is a colorless mana dork actually good? I mean, the good news is it survives Bowmaster, which is the upside, but yeah, this one's super over. Is that a fake 10 or a legit 10? My little brother was home for the weekend from college, so he ended up having like an outdoor barbecue thing. So I was outdoors all last weekend. So it's actually just that I never go outside in the sun for super long periods. I'm always inside playing Magic and making content. So I was actually like out in the super hot sun all weekend and actually ended up getting tan. So no, it was actually a real accidental like heat stroke kind of tan. Like, why am I outside for so long kind of tan? Why am I not playing Magic? Yeah, so this will probably be the one time this summer you see me with a tan, just because I don't usually stay outside that long. About it. Yeah, I mean, this is just an example of Karn and Mono Green and Nykthos, and it's just working on a very different level than our deck. We're on the like, can we draw a white source so we can blink our Waro Blossoms? They're on the, let's make 40 mana and play Karn so we can go infinite. So a little different, just a smidge. Yeah, I mean, they don't have the finisher though, right? So they can keep looping, but there's no Chain Veil. So how do they actually... Normally you don't see people try to go infinite on Arena because you're missing the pieces necessary to go infinite. So I actually kind of want to see how this ends, just because... I'm not sure how this actually works on Arena, honestly. Pop Catholic, welcome to the fishbowl for the. I mean, it probably just ends with a value loop. Like, I don't know if this is actually going anywhere. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I mean, I guess they just tutor all the artifacts from their. Yeah, so there's no. This isn't actually leading anywhere, right? They're just kind of like casting everything, but it doesn't do anything. Sure.
But my friend's kind of a big
Farewell would have been funny. Especially if it hit Planeswalkers. Like 30 mana, not that that does anything either. So they can keep looping Karns and Kioras forever, but like, how does this win them the game? That's the question. Like, how do they actually win the game because of this? Karn. But, yeah, so Karn gets Pest Cauldron, untaps a land. I don't know if our opponent knows how they win the game. I think they're just doing this because they can. With infinite mana, Cure can untap the ring to draw. About it. Restored it. I mean, we're super dead. I'm just curious what the actual mechanical... Even if they draw their deck, though, with the One Ring. can Mono Green win right away? Mono Green typically can't. Like, they can play a bunch of stuff,
Right.
but even if they, like, tap and untap and draw their entire deck, does that actually straight up kill us this turn? Or do they do all this, and then if your opponent has a farewell, you end up losing still? That's what I'm wondering. Like, do they actually have a, like, you don't get to untap, I win way to finish this game? So anyway, as our opponent's looping off, probably gonna be the last game of our stream. So let's let our opponent keep doing their thing, and we'll see where we end up. Okay, so Aetherflux Reservoir. So our opponent is Aetherflux Reservoir is a way they can win right away. Weak to opposing Karns, as we saw with our Wondering deck. That's the one thing that really hoses it. But well, that's kind of neat. I think this is actually like about the first time I've seen a Green Devotion deck on Arena that actually was trying to go fully infinite. That's usually something you only see on Magic Online in Modern because you don't have the pieces. So that's cool to see there is a way to do it. Opponent, I think they might have done that on purpose. They had to end with the 69. They had to end with the 69, the nicest number. So what do we learn? What do we learn about these decks? So what do we got today? So deck-wise, we did some Primeval Gatesing. Primeval Gates, I expect you'll see this deck again because I think it's going to end up being a good budget deck. Primeval Titan is legitimately an amazingly, hugely awesome addition to the deck. It's really, really good. So it's still Gates. It's still, kind of a land strategy, still kind of a budget strategy. But Primeval Titan, really good in the deck. Deck number 2, Titan Blink. I don't know if Titan Blink's like that strong. It's the kind of deck I really enjoy playing though. So I would not recommend you running out and crafting this deck with your wild cards if your goal is to like rank up or whatever. I don't think it's as strong of a deck, but if you just like dirtling around and Panharmonicons, I don't know how we ever beat Mono Green, but we got to see in that match we lost against the deck with all the Exile Wraths, like the loops with Sun Titans and Glasspool Mimics, it's just like, it's cool. It does neat value-y things. It's the kind of deck, I think the TLDR, it's the kind of deck that like, it would have been so good like 5 years ago. It reminds me very much of like 2016 Magic or whatever. Just that like before we had so much power creep, this were the kind of things you actually like, oh, Sun Titan for, Phantasmal Image, make a big board of things. That was kind of a thing that was like actually good back then. I don't know if it's actually still good today, but yeah, that's that deck. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us for the end for the day. Dog of Myth getting the reminders already going. Thank you so much. Replay YouTube, check that out for all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, tomorrow's deck is actually pretty sweet. Definitely check out tomorrow's deck on the YouTube. I think you're gonna like it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's a bit of a surprise, but it's a cool idea. And one more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get it from cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to every one of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. And I love you all so much. I hope you have a great night. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll be back on Tuesday to have some more fun. So until then, everyone, I love y'all. Have a great night. And I will talk to you soon.